Jason lay awake, staring at the ceiling in his dimly lit apartment. The room was silent, yet his mind roared with noise. Deadlines he missed, words he wished he hadn't said, fears about money, aging, loneliness. Each thought wrapped itself around the next like tangled threads, pulling him deeper into a web of mental exhaustion. He turned to his side, hoping for rest, but rest would not come. The more he tried to silence the thoughts, the louder they grew. It felt like drowning in a sea made entirely of his own mind. Maybe you've had a night like that too. In our modern lives, we carry a relentless stream of thoughts wherever we go. The pressure to succeed, to be perfect, to always do more. These voices are with us in the morning rush, in the glow of our screens, and in the hollow silence just before sleep. We are taught to plan, to calculate, to anticipate, but not how to rest our minds, not how to be without trying to become. This constant thinking becomes a prison. It disguises itself as productivity but feeds anxiety. It wears the mask of control but deepens our suffering. And when we finally lie down at the end of a long day, we often find our beds are shared with 100 restless thoughts, like ghosts of unfinished tasks and unresolved fears. They hover, refusing to let us sleep. But what if the problem isn't the thoughts themselves, but the way we relate to them? There's a teaching in Zen Buddhism that offers a quietly profound invitation. Watch your thoughts like clouds. Don't chase them, don't fight them, don't judge them. Just watch them pass lightly, patiently, gently, as you would watch clouds in the sky. Some are dark and heavy, others are light and fleeting, but none of them define the sky. They come and go, but the sky remains untouched, vast and free. Your mind is like the sky, your thoughts, the clouds. This simple shift from identification to observation can begin to change everything. In place of struggle, there is space. In place of judgment, there is compassion. In place of tension, there is rest. This journey we are about to take is not one of escape, but of deep return. We will explore how ancient Zen wisdom can guide us out of mental chaos and back into stillness. Through stories, reflections, and gentle meditations, we'll learn to sit beside our thoughts rather than beneath them, to breathe, to release, to remember the sky within us. You don't need to silence the mind to find peace. You just need to stop clinging to every cloud that passes. Let us begin this quiet journey inward. Let the clouds drift by. Let your breath guide you. And may peace arise not from what you control, but from what you gently let go. Have you ever looked up at the sky on a quiet afternoon? The kind of sky that stretches wide, soft blue, with lazy clouds drifting across it, ever changing in shape and size. Some pass quickly, like wisps of breath, while others linger, slow and dark, casting shadows on the ground. But no matter how thick or stormy the clouds may appear, the sky behind them never disappears. It remains vast, open, untouched. Your mind is not so different. Each day, thousands of thoughts drift across the sky of your consciousness. They come uninvited memories, worries, judgments, regrets, fantasies. Some stay for a moment, others take root. You may find yourself replaying a conversation from 3 years ago or imagining what could go wrong tomorrow. Your thoughts swirl like clouds, unpredictable and unceasing. And yet, like the sky, your awareness, the space in which all thoughts arise, is vast, still, and always present. The problem is, we forget that we are the sky. Instead, we begin to believe that we are the clouds. We identify with our thoughts. I'm anxious. I'm not good enough. I'm always a failure. These are not passing mental events. They become identities. And once we wear them as who we are, we suffer. We get lost in storms of our own making, carried away by internal weather that is never stable, never satisfied. But the teachings of Zen invite us to wake up from this trance. They teach us, you are not your thoughts. You are the space in which thoughts arise. Thoughts are like clouds. Let them come, let them go. You do not need to follow everyone. You do not need to fight them. You only need to watch. This may sound simple. It is. But simple does not mean easy. We've spent years, entrenched in habitual patterns of thinking. Our modern world rewards mental activity, analysis, prediction, judgment. We are praised for being thinkers, but rarely are we taught to be observers. Rarely are we told that peace does not come from controlling the mind, but from releasing our grip on it. To illustrate this, let us return to a quiet moment in the mountains of ancient China. There was once a young student who traveled far to learn from a renowned Zen master. When he arrived, he was buzzing with questions, his mind full of confusion and ambition. "Master," he said, "I want to understand enlightenment. I want to master my thoughts and find peace." The master looked at him, smiled gently, and poured him a cup of tea. As the tea reached the brim, the master kept pouring. It spilled over the cup, onto the table, onto the student's robe. "Stop," the student cried. "Can't you see the cup is full?" The master placed the teapot down. "Just like this cup," he said, "your mind is too full to receive anything. You must first empty it." Stan. This story is told again and again in Zen circles, not because it is clever, but because it points to something vital. We approach life with minds overflowing thoughts upon thoughts, opinions upon opinions. We are so busy thinking that we forget to see. And yet, it is not the thoughts themselves that harm us. It is our clinging to them, our belief that they are real, solid, true. Here is a gentle truth. Thoughts are not facts. They are passing weather patterns in the mind. They rise based on causes and conditions: your childhood, your culture, your moods, even what you ate for lunch. They are shaped by memory, emotion, and biology, but they are not you. Just as clouds do not define the sky, your thoughts do not define your being. When we understand this, something remarkable begins to happen. A space opens up between you and your thoughts. You start to watch them, instead of being consumed by them. Ah, here is worry again. This is the voice of self-doubt. There's that old story about not being enough. You observe with judgment, but with gentle awareness. And in that space of observation, peace is born. You do not need to wrestle your thoughts to the ground. You do not need to eliminate them. You simply let them come and let them go, like clouds. But of course, this takes practice. And it begins with presence. Try this now. Close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, simply notice what thoughts are passing through your mind. Perhaps one says, "This is silly." Another says, "I can't do this right." Another whispers, "I wish my mind was quieter." Don't engage them. Just notice. Like watching leaves float down a stream. Don't pick them up. Don't push them away. Let them drift. This is the first doorway to freedom, not control, but awareness. The Buddha once said, "Just as a rainstorm fills a pond with many ripples, so too does the undisciplined mind stir with many thoughts." But if you stop throwing stones into the pondif, you stop resisting, and grasping the surface becomes calm, clear, still. That stillness is your true nature. Not the noise, not the chaos, but the clear sky beneath. When we are no longer entangled in the drama of every thought, we become less reactive, less anxious, more at peace. We don't take every mental storm personally. We see that even the darkest cloud will pass. Even the wildest thunderstorm will fade. No feeling is final. No thought has to be believed. Let us consider one more story, one from a Japanese Zen garden. A young monk once complained to his master, "My mind is like a monkey, always jumping, always loud. I can't meditate. I can't find peace." The master nodded and pointed to a tree outside. "Do you see the leaves moving in the wind?" "Yes," said the monk. "That is your mind. Let the wind blow, do not chase the leaves. This image stayed with the monk. For years he sat, practicing. The wind still blew, the leaves still moved, but he no longer chased them. And in that surrender, he found what he had been seeking all along, not silence, but freedom from struggle. This is your practice too. You are not trying to force your mind into silence. That would be like commanding the sky to be cloudless. Your practice is simply to watch, to sit beside your thoughts like an old friend, to greet them with kindness and let them pass. In time, your relationship with thinking will soften. The loud thoughts will lose their grip, the anxious ones will float more lightly, and you will remember the sky within you, the open, endless space that holds it all. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, remember this: your thoughts are not enemies. They are not you. They are clouds, and you are the sky. Let them come. Let them go. There is nothing to fix. There is only this breath, this stillness, this moment. Let it be enough. Observing without judgment. There is a subtle yet profound difference between watching something and judging it. Imagine you're sitting on a bench in a quiet park, observing people walk by. Some walk fast, some slow, some smile, others frown. You're simply watching, no comment, no opinion. Just the gentle flow of life moving past. Now imagine, instead, you begin to label every person. That one looks angry. She seems selfish. He must be lazy. Suddenly, you are no longer observing. You are judging. And with judgment comes tension, separation, even suffering. The same thing happens inside your mind. Thoughts come and go just like people in the park. But rather than just letting them pass, we often grasp at them, label them, wrestle with them. A thought arises. I'm not doing enough. And we pounce on it. Why do I always think this? I hate this. I need to stop thinking this way. Without realizing it, we add layer upon layer of resistance, like pouring gasoline onto a small flame. The mind catches fire, not from the thought itself, but from the judgment we attach to it. Zen teaches us a different way, to observe without judgment, to witness with softness, to let the thought come, let it stay if it must, and let it go when it's ready, without adding commentary, resistance, or drama. This is not apathy, it is clarity. It is the difference between getting caught in a storm and watching the rain from under a shelter. The rain still falls, but you are dry. The wind still howls, but you are grounded. Judgment is the habit of a mind that believes it must be in control. It wants to divide the world into right and wrong, good and bad, acceptable and unacceptable. But in doing so, it forgets the simple truth. Everything is just as it is. A thought is just a thought. A feeling is just a feeling. It only becomes a prison when we say, "This should not be here." The practice of non-judgment begins with awareness, with noticing. Try this. Close your eyes for a moment and simply observe your mind. What do you notice? Perhaps a thought arises about the day ahead, or a feeling of restlessness in the body, or the echo of an old memory. Whatever it is, you simply see it, name it gently, and let it be. This is thinking, this is tension, this is memory, and then nothing more. Don't analyze it, don't fix it, don't try to change it. Just see it and return to your breath over and over again. Like a parent watching a child play, there's care, but not control. You do not need to interfere. This is the heart of mindfulness, awareness without interference. There's an old Zen story that illustrates this beautifully. A student once asked his master, "What is the path to peace?" The master replied, "Do not speak, do not think, do not judge, just look." The student was puzzled. "Just look at what?" The master smiled and said, "At whatever arises." This just looking is what frees us. It breaks the chain of reaction. It allows us to meet life directly, not through the filters of fear or expectation or comparison, but in its raw, honest simplicity. When you practice observing without judgment, you begin to see how many of your thoughts are automatic, old habits, conditioned responses. You begin to notice the voice in your head that constantly evaluates. This is good. That's bad. This shouldn't be happening. That voice is not wrong, it's just habitual. And habits can be softened, slowly, with loving awareness. Let's consider the analogy of a mirror. A mirror does not judge what it reflects. It simply shows what is. If you stand before it smiling, it reflects a smile. If you cry, it reflects your tears. But the mirror itself remains unchanged, still, clear, silent. Your mind, when free of judgment, becomes just like that mirror, reflecting but not reacting, seeing but not attaching. This doesn't mean you become passive. In fact, quite the opposite. With clear seeing comes wise response. When you are no longer lost in judgment, you can respond to life from a place of presence and compassion, rather than fear or habit. Here's a common example. Let's say a thought arises, I'm not good enough. If you judge that thought, I shouldn't think this, what's wrong with me? You've now created tension on top of suffering. But if you observe it gently, there's the old not good enough voice again. You create space. The thought loses its grip. You see it for what it is, a mental habit, not a truth. And in that moment, you are free. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them, the stillness that sees clearly, the open space that allows everything to arise and pass. Another image. Think of thoughts like waves on the ocean, sometimes gentle ripples, sometimes crashing storms. But beneath it all, the ocean floor remains steady, unmoved. The surface may churn, but the depth is calm. Your true nature is that calm depth. So how do we train ourselves to observe without judgment? Begin with the breath. The breath is always here, always now. It asks nothing of you. Just notice it. Inhale, exhale, like watching the tide roll in and out. If thoughts arise, and they will just notice them, thinking, and come back. No punishment, no frustration, just the gentle return. This is not a race. It is a returning. Again and again, you return to the breath, to the body, to this moment. Each time, you strengthen the muscle of presence. Each time, you teach the mind a new rhythmone of peace, rather than resistance. You can also practice in daily life. When you walk, just walk. Feel the ground. Notice the movement of your legs. If judgment arises, I should be walking faster. This is boring. Just notice it and return. When you eat, just eat. Taste each bite. Feel the texture. Let the mind rest. When you listen to someone, just listen. Not planning your reply. Not comparing their words to your beliefs. Just listening, fully, kindly. These small practices are powerful. They rewire the mind. They heal the nervous system. They soften the habit of judgment that has ruled us for so long. A final story, simple yet deep. A monk once told his master, I've finally reached a place where I no longer judge my thoughts. And the master smiled and said, now stop judging yourself for judging your thoughts. We are so quick to turn everything into something to fix, including our own practice. But even the judgment is part of the path. Even the wandering mind is part of the path. Everything is usable. Everything can be observed. Everything belongs. So tonight, as you prepare to rest, make a gentle vow. I will observe, not judge. I will welcome each thought as it is. And I will return, again and again, to the stillness beneath. You do not need to perfect your mind. You only need to befriend it. You do not need to silence your thoughts. You only need to watch them pass. Let each one arise. Let each one go, like leaves in the wind. Like clouds in the sky, you are not the thought. You are the watcher, and that is enough. Anchoring in the breath, in the restless ocean of the mind, where thoughts rise and fall like waves, sometimes gentle, sometimes violent, there is a constant, subtle rhythm that holds us steady, the breath. The breath has been with us since the moment we were born, arriving before thought, before language, before identity. And long before we had the words to name stress or anxiety, the breath was already there, quietly offering calm. To understand the power of the breath is to understand the essence of presence. In Zen Buddhism and many contemplative traditions, the breath is not merely a biological function. It is a sacred thread and anchor to now. It is both guide and refuge. When the mind is racing, when emotions threaten to sweep us away, when the clouds of thought darken the sky of awareness, the breath remains. Steady, soft, simple. It is the most accessible tool we have. It requires no belief system, no elaborate rituals. You don't have to go anywhere or change anything. You only need to pause and notice. You only need to feel this breath, and then the next. Let us begin here. Right now, take a slow inhale through your nose. Gently, feel your chest rise. And now, exhale through your mouth. Slowly, let your shoulders soften. This breath, this moment, that's all. Again, inhale, not to force, but to feel. Exhale, let it go, let it all go. Return. This is the anchor. In the practice of mindfulness, anchoring refers to bringing your attention back again and again to something steady and real in the present moment. And the breath is perhaps the most ancient and universal of all anchors. It is always here, always changing, yet always returning, just like life. Why the breath? Because thoughts are slippery, emotions are volatile, but the breath is rhythmic and grounded in the body. You cannot breathe in the past or in the future. The breath only lives now. So when you follow the breath, you return from the wandering of the mind into the clarity of the moment. The Buddha himself, in the Satipatthana Sutta, taught the breath as the first foundation of mindfulness. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. It may sound overly simple, but in truth, it is the simplicity that transforms. A young monk once approached a Zen master, frustrated that his mind would not settle. "I've tried watching my thoughts," he said, "but I get carried away every time." The master replied, "Then stop trying to catch the wind. Watch the tree. It bends, it sways, but it stays rooted." The monk asked, "What is the root?" The master said, "Your breath." When the storms of life arise, conflict, loss, anxiety, we often look for control. We try to solve things with our minds, to outthink our pain. But more often than not, this leads us deeper into tension. The breath offers another way, not through control, but through connection. Let us look more closely at the qualities of the breath as anchor. 1. It is neutral. Unlike thoughts, which often carry judgment, memory, or emotion, the breath is impartial. It is not good or bad. It does not carry a story. It simply is. This neutrality makes it a safe space, a soft landing. 2. It is embodied. The breath brings us back into the body. It draws attention out of the mind's chaotic chatter and into sensation, the rise and fall of the chest, the coolness of the air, the warmth in the belly. The body is always in the present, and the breath is its song. 3. It is rhythmic. There is comfort in rhythm. Like waves on the shore or the ticking of a clock, the breath moves in cycles. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. It teaches us the wisdom of patience, of cycles, of letting things come and go in their own time. 4. It is soothing. Slow, mindful breathing signals safety to the nervous system. It slows the heart rate, calms the fight or flight response, and allows the body to rest. It is medicine we carry within us, always available. But of course, even with the breath, the mind wanders. That is not failure, it is practice. Every time you notice you've drifted into thought and gently return to the breath, you are retraining the mind. You are strengthening the muscle of awareness. You are saying, "This is home." No, there is a phrase in Zen. When the mind returns, it bows. Meaning when you bring your attention back to the present, do so with reverence, with gentleness, not frustration. Each return is a sacred bow. Let's try this now with a short practice. Sit or lie down comfortably. Let your eyes close. If they feel heavy, bring your attention to your breath. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Don't change the breath, just notice it. If your mind wanders, let it. And then return. Return to the breath, again and again. Feel how the breath grounds you. Feel how it slows time. Feel how, in this moment, nothing is missing, nothing needs to be fixed. You are simply breathing. You are simply being. A Zen story tells of a student who asked, "Master, how do I find peace?" The master replied, "Sit, breathe, feel the wind on your skin, drink your tea." The student frowned. "Is that it?" The master smiled. "What more do you need?" There is a deep wisdom in such simplicity. In the modern world, we have become addicted to complexity, to apps, hacks, solutions. But true peace is not complex. It is found in the rhythm of ordinary things, in the breath, in the body, in presence. The breath can become your companion, not just in formal meditation, but in daily life. When you wake in the morning, pause and breathe. When you feel overwhelmed, return to the breath. Before speaking, breathe. While waiting in traffic, breathe. When you cannot sleep, breathe. Let it be your friend, your guide, your quiet teacher. In time, you'll notice something subtle yet powerful. When you anchor in the breath, your thoughts slow down, your reactions soften. You become more patient, more grounded, more kind. You are no longer a leaf in the storm, you are the tree. No longer the churning surface, you are the deep water below. One more story to close this part of our journey. A woman came to a meditation teacher in despair. "My mind is a mess," she said. "I feel like I'm drowning in fear and worry." The teacher handed her a bowl of water and said, "Stir this water with your finger." She did, and the water rippled violently. "Now," he said, "hold it still." She waited. Slowly, the ripples faded. The water cleared. He said, "This is your mind. Let the breath hold it still." Boin. The breath does not promise instant silence, but it promises presence. It promises return. And with each return, the ripples soften. And in that stillness, you remember who you are. Not the thoughts, not the stories, not the noise, but the one who breathes, the one who watches, the one who is here. So tonight, as you drift towards sleep, let the breath be your lullaby. Inhale peace, exhale release, inhale presence, exhale let go. No need to force anything, just breathe, just be. You are home. The art of acceptance. A gentle truth echoes through the heart of Zen. Suffering is not born from what happens to us, but from our resistance to it. It is not the storm, but our desire for sun. Not the pain itself, but the thought, "This should not be happening." In the deepest sense, much of our struggle comes not from life, but from the way we argue with life. Acceptance, then, is not weakness. It is a profound strength, a spiritual surrender not to fate, not to failure, but to what is, to reality as it arises, moment by moment. This is the art of acceptance. And like all true arts, it must be practiced gently, patiently, again and again. Let us begin with a simple moment. You wake up feeling tired. The body aches. A fog lingers in the mind. Instantly, the resistance begins. Why do I feel this way? I have so much to do. I shouldn't be like this. The judgment, the rejection, the inner worrit begins before your feet even touch the floor. This is how many of us live, not in the world, but in resistance to the world. But what if you paused? What if you took a slow breath and said, "This is what it feels like this morning." No drama, no rejection, no trying to fix, just truth, just presence, just this. Acceptance doesn't mean you like what's happening. It doesn't mean you agree with it. It simply means you stop fighting it. You allow it to be. You stop pouring fuel on the fire. And in that space, unexpectedly, peace begins to enter. Let us remember, everything that arises in your life, every thought, every emotion, every sensation, already is. It has already arrived. To resist it now is to argue with the present. And as the teacher Byron Katie so wisely said, when you argue with reality, you lose but only 100% of the time. Acceptance is not passive. It is powerful. It is what allows us to respond rather than react, to soften rather than harden, to choose presence over panic. A Zen monk once told this story. A traveler was walking through a forest and came across a large boulder blocking the path. Angry, he shouted at it, kicked it, cursed it. Hours passed and he was exhausted. Finally, he sat down and whispered, "Why are you here?" The boulder said nothing, but in the silence, the man saw a tiny path curving gently around it. He had been so busy fighting what was, he hadn't seen the way forward. This is how many of us live. We fight the stone instead of stepping around it. We resist the feeling instead of making space for it. We tense against the pain instead of breathing into it. But the boulder is part of the path, and sometimes the obstacle is the way. In Buddhist psychology, there's a word, dukkha, often translated as suffering, but it more accurately means that which is hard to bear. Dukkha is part of life, illness, aging, loss, uncertainty. These cannot be avoided, but what adds to our suffering is the story we tell about them. I shouldn't be sick. This is unfair. Why me? This shouldn't have happened. And yet, it has. It is. No amount of protest can erase it. But what acceptance gives us is this: a resting place. Not a solution, not a fix, but a soft place to land. A place where we stop struggling and simply say, this too, this feeling, this failure, this moment, let it be here. Even pain changes in the presence of acceptance. Think of emotional pain like a tightly clenched fist in the heart. Resistance makes it tighter, judgment makes it harder, but acceptance begins to open the hand. The pain may still be there, but now it can breathe, now it can soften, now it can move. There is a story of a monk named Ryokan, who returned to his mountain hut one night to find it ransacked by thieves. His bowls, his food, everything was gone. He looked around, smiled, and said, "Ah, they forgot to take the moon." And he sat beneath the night sky, quiet, content. That is the spirit of acceptance. Not because the loss didn't matter, but because he understood you cannot lose what is truly yours. And what is truly yours is not your possessions, not your plans, not even your thoughts, but your presence, your awareness, your peace. This kind of peace is born not from perfection, but from surrender. Surrender is a misunderstood word in the modern world. We equate it with giving up, with defeat. But in the spiritual sense, surrender is sacred. It means we stop clinging to how things should be and open to how they are. It means we step out of the storm and into the eye where it is still. Let us return to the breath. Inhale, accept. Exhale, release. Say silently to yourself, this moment is enough. This feeling is allowed. I accept what is, over and over again. Even if you don't believe it, Even if the mind protests, even if fear rises, say it anyway, not to control, but to allow, to make space, to soften the walls you've built inside. This is not about perfection. You will forget, you will resist again, you will judge, but every time you remember to return to breathe, to accept, you are rewiring the mind, you are healing the nervous system, you are building the inner capacity to hold all of life, not just the parts you like. A woman once came to a meditation teacher in deep sorrow. "My son has died," she said. "How can I accept this?" The teacher placed his hand on her shoulder and whispered, "Not today, today, just accept your sorrow." Tears fell. She did not feel better, but she felt held. And in that holding, healing began. Acceptance does not erase pain. It honors it. It says, "You are welcome here." It says, "You don't have to go away for me to love myself." It says, "This too belongs." In this way, acceptance is not a state. It is a path, a process, a choice we make, moment by moment. To begin this path, you can practice a simple mantra: let it come, let it stay, let it go. When a thought arises, let it come. When an emotion surfaces, let it stay, if it must. When it is ready, let it go. No pushing, no clinging, no drama, just space. You can use this in daily life. When you spill your coffee, when someone speaks unkindly, when plans fall apart. Instead of reacting, pause, breathe, accept, let it be what it is, and then move forward with clarity and grace. This practice does not make you passive, it makes you wise. It gives you freedom not from life, but within life. You become like a river flowing around the rocks, not crashing into them. You stop demanding that the world bend to your will, and you begin to trust the unfolding. You begin to see that life, just as it is, has its own rhythm, its own teaching, its own beauty, even in the sorrow, even in the silence, even in the ache. So tonight, as you lie down to rest, bring this spirit of acceptance with you. Let go of the need for sleep to come quickly. Let go of the thought, "I should feel peaceful." Let go of trying to fix yourself. Instead, breathe and say gently, "I accept this moment. I accept myself. I allow life to be as it is." Let the tension melt. Let the thoughts pass. Let this breath be enough. You do not need to become anything more. You only need to allow what already is. This is the art of acceptance. This is the way home. Letting go is freedom. Imagine holding a burning coal tightly in your hand, refusing to let it go, even as it scorches your skin. It hurts, but somehow you believe the pain is necessary. Maybe it feels familiar. Maybe you're afraid of what will happen if you release it. But the truth is this: you are not being hurt by the kolau. You are being hurt by your refusal to let it go. Letting go is not a single act. It is a way of being, a posture of the heart, a practice that frees us not because it changes the world, but because it changes our relationship to it. In Zen and Buddhist wisdom, letting go is not about abandoning responsibility or becoming indifferent. It is about softening our grip on the things we cannot control, the stories we no longer need, the thoughts that bind us, and the expectations that quietly poison our peace. But letting go can feel impossible when we are afraid. Afraid of losing identity, afraid of uncertainty, afraid that if we don't hold on, we will fall apart. And so we cling to relationships, to ambitions, to pain, to narratives of who we are and what we deserve. We cling, not because it helps, but because it's what we've learned to do. And yet every moment we are clinging is a moment we are not free. Let's begin here with the breath. Inhale slowly, and now exhale. Notice how the body naturally lets go. You do not force the breath to leave. You simply allow it to. This is the body's wisdom release, is part of life. Without letting go of the old breath, You cannot receive the new one, the lungs empty so they can fill again. This is not loss, it is renewal. The same is true of the heart. When we release what no longer serves us, we create space for something new, something truer to arise. Letting go begins by recognizing what we are holding. So ask yourself gently, what am I clinging to right now? What thought keeps returning, even when I know it brings me suffering? What expectation, what memory, what identity am I grasping so tightly that I cannot breathe? Do not answer with judgment, just awareness. You may discover you are clinging to a version of yourself from years ago, successful one, the lovable one, the one who never failed. Or perhaps you're holding on to resentment, replaying a betrayal like a loop that never ends. Maybe it's the dream that didn't unfold, the apology that never came, or the fear that you are not enough without achievement. In Buddhism, this clinging is known as upadanathe, fuel of suffering. The more we grasp, the more we burn. But there is another path, to loosen the hand, to gently open the fingers, to trust that what is meant to stay will stay, and what is ready to leave will go. A Zen parable speaks to this. A man is crossing a river on a raft. He uses the raft to reach the far shore safely. Once he arrives, he picks up the raft and begins to carry it on his back. It is heavy, awkward, slowing him down. Another traveler asks, "Why are you carrying that raft?" The man says, "It helped me cross the river. I cannot leave it behind." The raft was useful, but only for a time. So many of us carry emotional rafts long after we've crossed the river. Old beliefs, relationships, roles, identities, we carry them out of habit, out of loyalty to the past. But what once served us may now be a burden, and the path ahead requires lightness. Letting go is how we lighten the load, not by force, not by rejection, but by recognizing this no longer helps me. Here's the paradox. We think letting go means losing something, but in reality, it is the gateway to gaining everything that truly matters: peace, clarity, spaciousness, joy. You do not lose yourself when you let go. You return to yourself. Let us explore a few areas where letting go becomes a powerful spiritual doorway. 1. Letting go of control. Control is an illusion we hold on to in order to feel safe. We try to control outcomes, people, perceptions, but life is dynamic, uncontrollable, uncertain. The tighter we grip, the more exhausted we become. The Buddha taught impermanence as a central truth. Everything changes, nothing remains fixed. When we accept this, we stop fighting change and start flowing with it. Practice. The next time something doesn't go your way, pause. Notice the urge to fix or force. Then breathe. Say silently, "I release control, I trust the unfolding." 2. Letting go of expectations. Expectations are quiet contracts we create with reality contracts it never signed. They should appreciate me. This plan should work. Life should be fair. When these expectations are unmet, we suffer not because life betrayed us, but because our inner script did. Acceptance, instead of expectation, brings peace. Practice. Each morning, begin with the phrase, "I open to whatever today brings." This doesn't mean you have no goal set, means you are not attached to how they must unfold. 3. Letting go of stories. We carry stories about who we are. I'm a failure. I always ruin things. I can't be loved. These narratives may have formed from pain, but they are not the truth. They are thoughts we've believed clouds mistaken for the sky. In mindfulness practice, we learn to see thoughts as events, not facts. Practice. When a painful self-story arises, try labeling it. The "I'm not enough" story again. Gently smile. Return to the breath. Let it pass like wind through an open window. 4. Letting go of grief and pain. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending we were never hurt. It means we stop drinking the poison every day. It means we honor the pain, then allow it to leave the room. A monk once said, "Grief is love that has nowhere to go." When we let go, we do not lose the love. We simply release the suffering wrapped around it. Practice. Light a candle for what you've lost. Whisper a prayer of release. I thank you, I grieve you, and now I set you free. 5. Letting go of the outcome. We do what we can. We plant the seed, we water the soil, but we cannot control the bloom. The outcome is never fully in our hands. Letting go means we act with heart, but release the result. This is the teaching of non-attachment to the fruit of action from both Buddhism and the Bhagavad Gita. Practice. After doing something with care, sending a message, completing a task, pause and say, I release the outcome, may it unfold as it must. Letting go is a muscle we build through practice. Some days it will feel easy, other days nearly impossible. That's okay. Even trying to let go plants seeds of liberation. And sometimes letting go is not something you do. It's something that happens when you stop trying so hard. Imagine standing in a river, holding onto a branch above your head, afraid to be swept away. The current pulls at you. Your arms tire. You want to stay safe, but then you let go. And instead of drowning, you float. The water holds you, carries you. This is life. It moves. It carries. And when you stop fighting it, it becomes a dance. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, try this. Lie down. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Breathe in. And as you exhale, whisper softly, I let go. Let go of the day. Let go of mistakes. Let go of plans. Let go of effort. Let go of who you think you must be. You are enough as you are. You are held. You are free. Let go. Let go. Let go. Not because you must, but because you can. And in that release you remember, you were never the coal. You were never the raft. You were never the storm. You are the open sky, the still water, the silent watcher. And now, at last, you are free, being present in the moment. There's a beautiful saying in Zen, when you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. At first glance, it may sound too simplistic, almost naive, but embedded within those plain words lies a radical and transformative teaching, the practice of being fully present. In the modern world, presence is a rare thing. We drink coffee while checking emails, talk to friends while scrolling through social media, and walk through beautiful places without seeing them, lost in thought, chasing schedules, reacting to every notification. Our bodies are here, but our minds are everywhere else. And slowly, this disconnection erodes the joy and clarity available to us in every moment. Being present is not just about mindfulness. It's about reclaiming your life from distraction. It is about inhabiting your body, your breath, your senses. It is about letting go of the past, softening the grip of the future, and discovering that peace was never somewhere else, it was here, quietly waiting for your return. Let's begin with a simple question. Where is your attention right now? Is it here with these words, this breath, this room? Or is it replaying a conversation, jumping ahead to tomorrow's tasks, or chasing an imagined future? The mind is like a restless monkey. It leaps from branch to branch, rarely staying still. But presence is the moment when the monkey pauses, when the breath slows, when the world softens, when the now reveals its beauty. This moment, this very second, is the only place life ever happens. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, only now. Everything else is memory or imagination. But now is real. Now is sacred. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. But we are rarely attentive. We are waiting for something better, something more. We postpone our peace for a later time that never comes. If I finish this project, then I'll rest. If I lose this weight, then I'll feel good. If they love me, then I'll be enough. But peace is not a prize you earn. It is a home you return to. Let me share a story. A young man once came to a Zen master and asked, "What is the secret to peace?" The master took a sip of tea and replied, "When I eat, I eat. When I sleep, I sleep." The young man was confused. "But I do that too." The master shook his head. When you eat, you think about sleeping. When you sleep, you dream of eating. That is not peace. That is distraction. True presence is a kind of devotion. It is an act of love toward life. To be present is to say, this moment is enough, not because it is perfect, not because it is free of pain, but because it is real, and because it is here. Let us explore a few ways we can practice presence in daily life, not as a technique, but as a way of being. 1. The power of attention. Attention is life's currency. Where you place it shapes your reality. Try this. Hold a warm cup of tea, feel its texture, notice the warmth. Breathe in the aroma, take a sip slowly, taste, swallow, pause. This small act becomes meditation, not because it is mystical, but because you are there, fully. That's the miracle, turning the ordinary into sacred through attention. Even washing dishes, when done with full awareness, becomes a practice of peace. You are not getting dishes done. You are touching water, feeling heat, watching soap swirl. You are here. 2. Returning through the body. The mind wanders. That's its nature. But the body is always present, always now. The breath, the heartbeat, the contact between your feet and the floor, these are gateways. When you feel lost in thought, gently return to the body. Feel your hands, wiggle your toes, breathe into your belly. This simple return grounds you. It interrupts the trance of thinking. The body never asks you to be different. It simply invites you back. 3. Using everyday rituals. Turn your routines into rituals of awareness. When you brush your teeth, feel each stroke. When you walk to the car, feel each step. When you drink water, pause and truly drink. You don't need more time. You need more presence in your time. Even 5 conscious breaths can change the tone of your entire day. 4. Meeting emotions with presence. Presence isn't just for pleasant moments. It's especially powerful in difficulty. When sadness arises, instead of analyzing it, feel it. Notice where it lives in the body. Breathe into that space. Say silently, "This too." Presence does not require fixing, only allowing. By staying with the feeling, you let it move. Emotions, like waves, rise and fall. They ask only to be seen, to be honored, to be allowed. 5. Silence as a gateway. Noise is everywhere in the world and in our heads, but silence is always waiting underneath. Try sitting in silence for a few minutes each day, not to stop thoughts, but to notice them, to watch them drift like clouds, to realize you are the sky, not the weather. In silence, the present moment deepens. You begin to feel its weight, its texture, its quiet aliveness. Here's a metaphor. Imagine you're watching a movie in a theater. Suddenly, the projector jams and the screen goes white. Everyone panics until someone points out the projector room. There, you find the source. In the same way, we often get caught up in what's happening on screen. Thoughts, emotions, events. But presence is stepping back and remembering, I am not the story, I am the witness. This doesn't disconnect you from life. It connects you more deeply. You eat more fully, listen more attentively, love more completely, because you are there, not half lost in another time. One more story. A woman walked through a Zen garden, tears in her eyes. Her life had been full of stress, confusion, sorrow. She said to the monk, "How can I stop my thoughts? How can I feel peace?" The monk handed her a small stone and said, "Hold this in your palm. Feel its weight, its coolness. Walk with it slowly. Every time your mind leaves, come back to the stone." She did, step by step, minute by minute. And in that simple practice, she returned not just to the stone, but to herself, to her breath, to the world. And in that return, the tears slowed, the noise softened. Presence saved her not by solving anything, but by connecting her to the only thing that's ever real. This presence is not dramatic. It does not announce itself with fireworks. It arrives like a whisper, like a pause between heartbeats. It says, "You are here, you are alive, this is enough." You may still have problems, deadlines, conflicts, pain, but in the now, for this breath, none of those need solving. Right now, there is only breath, only silence, only you. As you prepare to sleep tonight, let presence guide you home. Lie down gently. Feel the contact between your body and the bed. Notice the temperature of the room. Hear the sounds around you soft, distant. Breathe. Let go of the day. Let go of tomorrow. Let go of everything but this moment. And say silently, "I am here. I am safe. This moment is enough." Let your body soften. Let your mind float. Let awareness hold you, like a quiet sky holding drifting clouds. You don't need to be anywhere else. You don't need to do anything more. Just be. Just breathe. Just rest. In this presence, you are free, cultivating deep awareness. There is a moment in Zen practice when the surface noise of the mind begins to settle, and what remains is not silence in the ordinary sense, but something richer, awareness. Not the kind of awareness that merely watches the world go by, but one that penetrates, perceives, and embraces the very fabric of experience. This is not just mindfulness, it is deep awareness, an intimate knowing that dissolves the boundary between observer and observed. Deep awareness is not just about paying attention, it is about seeing with clarity and compassion, a direct, non-judgmental seeing into the nature of thoughts, emotions, sensations, and the world itself. Most people live on the surface of their experience. We react to stimuli without pausing to witness what truly moves inside us. We judge, avoid, or suppress our inner life rather than meet it with presence. But Zen gently nudges us deeper, not to analyze, but to notice and, through that noticing, to awaken. Imagine looking into a still pond. On a windy day, the surface is choppy. You can't see anything beneath. But when the wind settles, the water clear sand, you begin to see the fish swimming below, the rocks resting at the bottom. Deep awareness is like this. It doesn't make new things appear. It simply reveals what was always there. Let's begin here. Close your eyes, even for a moment. Take a deep breath in and out. Notice what is here right now. Maybe you feel tension in your shoulders. Maybe you notice the sound of traffic in the distance. Perhaps a thought drifts in, something about your day, your past, your to-do list. Now, instead of reacting or labeling these sensations, just watch, not with control, but with care, not to fix, but to understand. This is the beginning of deep awareness. Non-reactive, open, curious attention. When we cultivate deep awareness, we begin to see that our inner world is not as solid as we thought. A thought is just a thought, it passes. A feeling is just a feeling, it changes. Even pain, when met directly, begins to move. Let's explore some key aspects of deep awareness and how to invite them into your life. 1. Awareness is the space, not the content. In Western culture, we're trained to focus on content, the thought, the story, the emotion. I am angry. I am anxious. I am not enough. But deep awareness shifts our attention away from the content toward the container, the space in which these things appear. Think of it like this. You're watching clouds drift across the sky. Most of us focus on the clouds, their shape, color, meaning. But rarely do we notice the sky itself, the vast open space that holds it all. Awareness is the sky. It is never disturbed by the clouds. This shift is profound. It means you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings, you are the awareness of them. And that awareness is spacious, kind, and unshakable. Practice this. The next time a difficult emotion arises, pause. Say silently, "This is anger arising in awareness. Not my anger, not I am angry, just a passing event in the field of awareness." This creates space, it breaks identification, it sets you free. 2. Awareness is non-judgmental. True awareness does not pick and choose. It does not say, "This is good, that is bad, this is welcome, that must leave." Awareness simply sees. This is radically different from how we're used to operating. Our minds are full of filter, cultural, emotional, personal. We see through layers of bias and preference. But awareness in its pure form has no agenda. It embraces everything equally. In this way, awareness becomes a great kindness. When you bring non-judgmental attention to your fear, your sorrow, your longing, you create the conditions for healing. You are no longer adding shame or resistance. You are simply saying, "This too, try this." Sit quietly and scan your body. Notice areas of tension or emotion. When you find one, rest your attention there, not to change it, but to witness it. Say gently, "You are allowed," then move on. You'll be surprised how much softens when it feels seen. 3. Awareness is patient. The world moves fast. We want results, conclusions, solutions. But awareness is not in a hurry. It is willing to sit with the unknown. It does not force revelation, it allows it to bloom. In Zen, there is great respect for silence and slowness. The teacher may not answer a student's question immediately. The lesson may take years to ripen. Because in deep awareness, truth is not something we get. It is something we grow into. When you practice awareness, let go of urgency. Don't demand that your meditation be peaceful. Don't chase insight. Just keep returning to this breath, this body, this now. Trust that understanding will come not as a lightning bolt, but as a deepening of stillness. Remember, even the sky doesn't rush the sunrise. 4. Awareness is curious. Awareness does not assume. It explores. It asks, "What is this? Really?" This is beginner's minder cornerstone of Zen. When you feel a tightness in your chest, don't rush to label it anxiety. Stay curious. What is the sensation? Where is it located? Does it move? Is it hot or cold? Sharp or dull? This detailed, kind attention brings clarity. Often, what we call pain is really a tangle of sensations, stories, and fear. When we dissect it with awareness, we realize, oh, this is just a vibration. This is heat. This is pressure. And we stop being afraid. You can bring this curiosity into all parts of life. When washing dishes, notice the water, the texture, the rhythm. When speaking with someone, watch your own reactions with interest. Let life become your meditation cushion. 5. Awareness transforms by seeing clearly. Here's the secret. You don't have to do anything with what you see. In modern culture, we think awareness must be followed by action. I'm aware I'm anxious, so I must fix it. But deep awareness teaches something different. Seeing clearly is transformative in itself. When you truly see something as it is, without distortion or judgment, it begins to shift on its own. A Zen student once asked, "How do I get rid of my anger?" The master replied, "Hold it up to the light, watch it, breathe with it. It will leave when it's ready." This is not passivity, it's trust. Trust that your being knows how to heal when you stop interfering. When you stop grasping, resisting, analyzing, and simply see. Let's practice together now. Close your eyes, sit comfortably, breathe in, and out. Bring your attention to your body. What sensations are present? Maybe there's tingling, tightness, warmth. Observe them, label them silently. Sensation in chest, tightness in jaw. Stay with it. Don't fix, just witness. Now notice your thoughts. What's here? This is taking too long. I'm doing it wrong. This is boring. Label, thinking. Return to breath. Now emotions. Any mood? Restlessness, peace, sadness. Whatever arises, notice, name, allow. This is deep awareness. This is the practice. Let me share a story to close this part. A woman struggling with deep grief once asked a Zen teacher, "Will this ever go away?" The teacher didn't speak. Instead, he poured tea into a cup, and he kept pouring. The tea overflowed, spilled onto the table, down onto the floor. The woman watched in silence. Finally, he said, "Your grief is like this tea. You are trying to contain it in the mind, but the cup is too small." She asked, "What should I do?" He said, "Become the ocean, then it will no longer overflow." Deep awareness is becoming the ocean. It does not get rid of your pain, it gives it space. It does not remove your thoughts, it lets them float. It does not eliminate your fear, it wraps it in tenderness. Tonight, as you lie down to sleep, invite deep awareness into your rest. Notice the weight of your body, the softness of your pillow, the rhythm of your breath. Scan the body slowly, from feet to head. With each part, say silently, "I see you, I allow you." If thoughts arise, smile gently, thinking. If emotion stirs, whisper, feeling. No fight, no shame, only noticing. Let awareness hold you like a mother holds her child, not to fix, but to love. Let the stories go. Let the doing rest. Let this breath be enough. Let this body be home. Let this awareness wrap you in quiet light. And as sleep comes, know this. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not your fear. You are the awareness that sees, the stillness that holds, the presence that frees. And in that presence, you are whole. You are safe. You are already home, discovering inner stillness. Beneath the noise of the world, beneath the chatter of thoughts, and beneath even the most turbulent waves of emotion, there is a place of stillness inside you. It is not something you have to earn or build. It is not reserved for monks in monasteries or mystics in caves. It is already here, waiting quiet, gentle, and completely undisturbed. This is your natural state, inner stillness. Zen practice is not about becoming something new, but about remembering this stillness. It's not about removing all thoughts or feelings, but about resting in the silent space that holds them all. Many people believe that peace is found by changing their external circumstances. If I fix my job, my relationship, my health, then I'll feel at ease. But life is dynamic. No outer condition stays stable forever. Real peace, the kind that endures through change, through chaos, through uncertainty, comes from within, from stillness. And the miracle is this: stillness is always available, even in the busiest city, even in heartbreak, even during insomnia. Like the deep ocean floor beneath surface storms, stillness is not destroyed by movement above. It is simply waiting for you to return. Let us begin where all return begins, with the breath. Take a long, slow inhale. Feel it expand your ribs, your belly. Now exhale even more slowly. Let your shoulders soften. Let your face relax. Let your heart drop into silence. Now ask yourself, where is the noise right now? Perhaps in your mind a thought about the day, a judgment, a worry. Perhaps in the body tightness, restlessness, a lingering ache. That's okay. You don't have to silence it. You only have to turn inward and listen. Underneath it all, there is a stillness that is not disturbed by your thinking. It is not moved by your pain. It simply is. Like the sky behind every cloud, like the space between every note in a song, you can touch this stillness not by escaping the world, but by sinking into what's already here beneath the noise, beneath the stories. Let's explore the nature of this stillness and how to rediscover it again and again in daily life. 1. Stillness is not the absence of movement. Many people assume that to be still means to have a blank mind, a perfectly quiet environment, and zero distraction. But inner stillness isn't about stopping life, it's about meeting it without resistance. Even in the middle of movement, you can find stillness. The key is this: presence. Think of a tree in the wind. The branches sway, the leaves flutter, but the trunk remains steady, rooted, silent. The tree does not fight the wind, it allows it to pass. In the same way, your thoughts may swirl, your life may be busy, but your awareness, your being can remain grounded, unmoved. This is the paradox of stillness. It doesn't require outer quiet. It requires inner permission. You give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, to be. And in that moment, stillness opens like a door. 2. Stillness begins in the body. When you're tense, it's hard to feel still. The body contracts, the breath shortens, the nervous system goes on alert. So stillness often begins with softening the body. Here's a practice. Sit or lie down. Bring attention to your feet. Imagine them melting into the ground. Then your calves, your thighs, your hips. Let gravity hold you. Let the earth carry you. Continue upward, relaxing each part: belly, chest, shoulders, jaw, eyes. Don't force relaxation, just invite it. The body knows how to return to rest. As the body quiets, the mind follows. Even a few minutes of embodied stillness can change your entire state. You begin to feel spacious, receptive, whole. 3. Silence is the gateway. True stillness is deeply connected with silence. Not just the absence of sound, but the kind of silence that fills a forest at dawn, or a room after the music stops. A silence that feels alive. Zen practitioners often sit in silence not to escape noise, but to hear what the noise has been covering. In silence, you begin to notice subtler things. The faint hum of breath, the sensation of being, the gentle rhythm of life unfolding. Silence is not empty, it is full of presence. If you can, give yourself small moments of silence each day. Turn off the radio during your commute. Walk without headphones. Sit by a window and listen to the world, to your breath, to nothing. In that nothing, everything becomes clear. 4. Letting go deepens stillness. One reason we cannot find stillness is because we're clutching to thoughts, to memories, to identity. The mind spins because it is trying to hold everything in place. But stillness arises not from grasping, but from releasing. Release doesn't mean forgetting or abandoning. It means loosening your grip. It means letting each moment be what it is, without clinging, without pushing. When a thought arises, let it float. When an emotion swells, let it move. When the body aches, let it ache. Don't fight, don't fix, just witness. In the space of witnessing, stillness grows. 5. Stillness is found between moments. If you listen carefully, stillness often appears in the gaps, between inhale and exhale, between thoughts, between words in a conversation, between raindrops on the window. These tiny spaces are always present, but we're usually too fast to notice. You can practice slowing down enough to feel them. When you speak, pause after each sentence. When you eat, rest between bites. When you walk, pause and breathe. These pauses are sacred. They are not empty. They are alive. They are doorways into the depth beneath life's surface. 6. The still mind sees clearly. From stillness comes clarity. When the water is still, you can see to the bottom. When the mind is still, truth becomes visible. You begin to see the nature of your thoughts. You realize most of them are repetitive, habitual, and not particularly helpful. You stop believing everything the mind says. And from that clarity, wisdom arises. Stillness doesn't give you all the answers, but it gives you something more valuable. The space to hear your own intuition, the freedom to choose how you respond, the power to see with compassion. In the still mind, you meet life as it is, not through the veil of reactivity, but through the lens of peace. Let's practice now. Close your eyes. Bring awareness to your breath. Follow it in and out. Notice the pause between each breath, the still point, the gap. Rest there. Now scan your body. Where is there tension? Breathe into that place. Let it soften. Let it go. Now listen, not to any sound, but to the silence behind the sound. Let your mind rest. Let your heart open. Let stillness rise like mist from a quiet lake. Stay for a few minutes. You don't need to do anything. You are already whole. Let me share a final story. A student once asked his Zen master, "How do I find the still mind?" The master led him to a river and said, "Throw in a stone." The student did. They watched the ripples move outward, distorting the reflection of the sky. "Now wait," the master said. Minutes passed. Slowly, the ripples faded. The surface grew calm. The sky returned. "This is your mind," the master said. "Do not stir it, just wait." Stillness comes when we stop stirring the mind, when we stop chasing, comparing, judging, fixing, when we sit, breathe, and let life return to its own rhythm. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, let stillness be your companion. Lie down gently, place one hand on your heart. Feel its rhythm, not rushing, not forced, just present. Breathe slowly. With each exhale, release tension. With each inhale, receive stillness. Say silently, "I return to peace. I return to now. I return to the stillness within me." Let the body rest. Let the mind soften. Let the soul be quiet. You do not need to solve anything tonight. You do not need to become anyone. You only need to be. And in that being, you are already whole. You are already free. Stillness is not a destination. It is your true home. Welcome back. Embracing impermanence. In the hush of a Zen garden, leaves fall silently from ancient trees. Stones remain still as the seasons shift. The moss grows, the blossoms fade, the wind passes through, and nothing stays the same. But within the impermanence of it all, there is a presence that watches, calm, accepting, and deeply wise. Zen does not fight impermanence, it bows to it. Impermanence anika in Buddhist teachings is one of the core truths of life. Everything changes. All things arise, stay for a time, and dissolve. No thought, no feeling, no body, no experience remains untouched by time. And yet, we often live as if permanence were possible. We try to hold on to youth, relationships, successes, certainty. We cling, even as everything slips through our fingers. Suffering begins not with change, but with our refusal to accept change. We suffer when we try to freeze time, when we demand that good moments stay forever, when we resist the end of a chapter, when we fear what might come next. But impermanence is not the enemy, it is the rhythm of life itself. It is the reason flowers bloom. It is the reason night becomes day. It is the reason we grow, learn, and awaken. Without impermanence, nothing would be possible, not even joy. What Zen invites us to do is not escape impermanence, but to embrace it, to make peace with it, to live with our eyes open, knowing that everything we love will change and loving it even more because of that. Let's begin here with your breath. Inhale slowly, exhale softly. Notice how every breath is born, lives, and dies. It arrives fresh. It leaves silently. You cannot cling to the last breath. You cannot store the next. Breath is the teacher of impermanence. And just like breath, your life unfolds moment by moment, each one passing, never to return. This is not cause for despair. This is reason to wake up, to be present, to love more fully, to live more gently, because you know it won't last. 1. Seeing change without fear. We often resist change because we mistake it for loss. But change is not always loss, it is also renewal. Letting go of old habits creates space for new growth. Leaving behind a role or identity opens room for deeper truth. Even endings, though painful, are often the beginning of something more authentic. Try to reflect on your own life. What moments felt like the end, but later revealed themselves to be turning points? Perhaps a relationship ended, but it led you closer to yourself. Perhaps a job was lost, but it freed your creativity. Perhaps grief hollowed you out, only to fill you with a deeper compassion. Impermanence is not the thief of beauty. It is what makes beauty possible. A cherry blossom is so precious because it does not last. 2. The trap of clinging. Much of our suffering comes from clinging to what we want and resisting what we don't. We hold on to youth, status, certainty. We try to control the uncontrollable. But clinging is like trying to grasp water. It slips away, leaving us exhausted. In Buddhism, the term upadana describes this grasping, and it is said to be the fuel of suffering. The antidote is not detachment in the cold sense, it is letting go with love. It is understanding. This moment is enough. I will cherish it, and when it ends, I will bow. You can still love deeply without clinging. You can still strive without attachment to results. You can still hope without needing certainty. This is the art of dancing with impermanence. 3. Grieving as a form of love. One of the most sacred ways we encounter impermanence is through grief. When we lose someone, we come face to face with the raw truth. This person, this body, this voice, we can't keep them, and it hurts deeply. But in Zen, grief is not a mistake. It is a natural response to impermanence. It is the echo of love. You grieve because you have loved. You grieve because something mattered. And in grieving, if you can allow the pain to not resist, not hide you, begin to touch something deeper, a tenderness, a wisdom, a clarity that lives beneath the sorrow. As the Zen poet Ryokan once wrote, "Gone, gone forever, and the sky remains clear. Grief strips away illusions and leaves only what is real." So when grief visits, welcome it. Let it speak, let it cleanse, let it remind you of love. 4. Impermanence and the present moment. When we accept impermanence, something beautiful happens. We stop postponing our lives. We stop waiting for a better time. We stop numbing ourselves with distractions. We stop living in the someday. We arrive. We drink the tea slowly. We listen to our loved ones with open hearts. We feel the rain instead of rushing inside, because we know this moment is passing, and it will never return. Every sunrise, every embrace, every breath, all are one-of-a-kind miracles, fleeting as dew. And so we begin to live more kindly, more vividly, more truthfully. We speak our love, we forgive, we create, not because we are trying to be perfect, but because we understand that life is precise and short. 5. Aging, dying, and the wisdom of the cycle. In our culture, aging and death are often treated as problems to be fixed. We try to fight aging. We avoid conversations about death. But in Zen, death is not an enemy, it is a teacher. Everything that is born will die. Everything that begins will end. This is not morbid, it is natural. The falling leaf is not a failure, it's the completion of a cycle. When you begin to see life this way, you start to soften. You stop chasing eternal youth. You honor the lines on your face as poems written by time. You walk with death not as a threat, but as a reminder to live fully now. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki said, life is like stepping onto a boat which is about to sail out to sea and sink. We know it's temporary, and so we cherish it more. 6. Finding freedom in letting go. There is a quiet joy that comes when you finally stop clinging. You don't need life to be perfect. You don't need people to behave a certain way. You don't need to control the outcome. You breathe, you witness, you allow, and in that allowing, you are free. Free to love without fear. Free to laugh in the face of uncertainty. Free to cry when it's time to cry. Free to be who you truly are, unbound by the need to hold everything together. Impermanence is not here to punish you. It's here to liberate you. Let's practice now. Sit or lie comfortably. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you breathe in, feel this moment enter your body. As you breathe out, feel it never to return in quite the same way. Now bring to mind something you've been clinging to, a belief, a memory, a fear. Notice how your body reacts to it. Tightness, resistance. Breathe into that space and say silently, I see you, I thank you, and I let you go. Feel the release, even if it's subtle. Now rest in this awareness. This breath is here, and now it is gone. This body is here, and it is changing. This moment is here, and it will never come again. Let that truth soften you. Let it open you. Let it bring you peace. Here is a final story. A student asked his Zen teacher, "Why do I feel so anxious all the time?" The teacher pointed to a cherry blossom drifting in the wind. "Because you try to hold what cannot be held," he said. "You chase what is already gone and fear what has not yet come." He picked up the fallen petal and said, "Everything falls, but in falling there is beauty. In letting go there is peace." Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, let impermanence be your lullaby. Feel the breath come and go. Feel the body rest and soften. Feel the thoughts drift like clouds. You do not need to hold on to anything. You are safe, even as things change. You are whole, even as moments pass. Say silently, I welcome change. I trust the flow. I release what is leaving. I cherish what remains. Let the past fall away. Let the future remain unknown. Let now be enough. And in this now, you will find peace. You will find truth. You will find yourself, not fixed, not permanent, but beautifully alive, breathing in the ever-changing miracle of life, letting thoughts come and go. There's a quiet teaching in Zen, passed down not just in words, but in the way a monk sweeps the floor, or how a tea master pours water into a cup. The teaching is this: thoughts come and go. You don't have to go with them. At first, it sounds too simple to be transformative, but over time, if you really understand it, if you truly embody it, it has the power to liberate your entire life. The mind produces thoughts in the same way the lungs produce breath, and the heart produces beats. It's natural, it's constant, it's not a sign that anything is wrong. But most of us spend our entire lives chasing thoughts, believing them, reacting to them, trying to change them, trying to control them. And in doing so, we lose touch with the stillness underneath. Thoughts come, thoughts go, but the you that watches them, that still, silent awareness, that is constant, that is peace, that is home. Zen practice is not about eliminating thoughts. It's not about fighting the mind. It's about learning how to relate to thoughts in a new way, with spaciousness, with gentleness, with freedom. Let's begin right now, in this moment. Take a deep breath in and out. Close your eyes for just a few seconds. Listen. Can you hear your thoughts? Maybe you hear planning, maybe doubt, maybe memories, random fragments, even self-judgment. Now imagine those thoughts as clouds drifting through the sky. You are the sky. The clouds do not harm you. They do not define you. They only pass. Watch, allow, let go. 1. The nature of thought. A thought is a mental event. It rises out of conditions, your mood, your memory, your biology, your surroundings, and it fades when those conditions shift. Thoughts are not facts. They are not commands. They are suggestions, passing commentary, mental weather. But most people treat their thoughts as truth. I'll never succeed. I'm a failure. They don't like me. This will never get better. None of these are truth. They are thoughts. Zen encourages us to meet these thoughts with a gentle question. Is this real, or is this just a thought? And more often than not, when you ask that question with awareness, you'll find the thought softens. It loses its grip. It becomes just a shape in the sky. 2. Identification versus observation. One of the greatest sources of suffering is identification with thought. That is, believing that every thought that arises is me or mine. But there's a huge difference between I'm anxious and anxiety is arising. The first locks you in. The second creates space. Try it now. Bring to mind a recurring negative thought, something familiar. Now say to yourself, this is a thought. And then say, I am the one observing this thought. Oh, feel the difference? The moment you observe a thought, you are no longer in it. You are witnessing it. You are free to let it pass. This is the beginning of mental liberation, not by force, but by stepping back. 3. The river of mind. The mind is like a river. Thoughts are the current, sometimes fast and rushing, sometimes slow and calm. Most of us fall into the river and get swept away. We follow one thought to the next without realizing we've even moved. But you can learn to sit on the riverbank. You can let the river flow. You can watch the thoughts rush by without getting wet. This image is powerful. Next time you feel overwhelmed, try saying, I am sitting beside the river. The river is flowing. I do not need to jump in. Let the thought pass. Let the river move. 4. The observer is always free. There is something in you that is never disturbed by thoughts. That is the observer, the witness, the awareness. No matter how wild the mind gets, so loud the inner critic, how chaotic the planning mind, how heavy the doubt, there is a part of you that simply notices. That noticing is your refuge. When you rest in the observer, you are not trying to stop thought. You're just returning to the place behind thought, the place of stillness, the place of truth. You can practice this even now. Close your eyes. Wet. Notice the next thought that appears. What is it? Label it. Planning, worry, judgment. Then let it go. Return to the breath. Repeat. This is mindfulness. This is awakening. This is freedom. 5. Letting go. Again and again. Even after years of practice, thoughts still come. But the difference is, you don't have to hold them. You don't have to chase them, argue with them, or fix them. You can simply let them rise, let them stay, and let them go. Like birds on a wire. They come, they rest, they fly away. No need to trap them. Zen teacher Shunryu Suzuki said, leave your front door and your back door open. Allow your thoughts to come and go. Just don't serve them tea. And thoughts are visitors. You are the host. Be kind. Be still. But don't let them move in. 6. Returning to the breath. When you find yourself swept away by thought, the breath is your anchor. It brings you back to now. It grounds you in the body. It reminds you, you are here. Each inhale is a new beginning. Each exhale is a gentle letting go. You don't need to stop thinking. You only need to return. Return to this breath. Return to this body. Return to this moment. Even if you return 100 times in 10 minutes, that's okay. Every return is a victory. Every return is a bow to the present. 7. Compassion for the mind. The mind is not your enemy. It's not broken. It's not bad. It's just trying to help, often in confused ways. It tries to protect you from pain. It tries to solve every problem. It tries to prepare you for the future, but it often overdoes it. And that's okay. When thoughts arise, especially painful honesty, meeting them with compassion. Oh, hello, old friend. I see you're back. I know you're just trying to keep me safe. It's okay. You can rest now. Oi. This softens the inner war. This transforms resistance into kindness. You don't conquer the mind. You befriend it. 8. The wisdom of space. The more space you create around thoughts, the more clearly you can see. Space lets you choose your response. Space lets you pause before reacting. Space lets you hear the still, small voice inside. Between the thought and the reaction, there is a gap, and in that gap is your power. Zen teaches, the mind is like a clear mirror. It reflects everything, but holds onto nothing. Be like the mirror. See clearly. Hold nothing. Let thoughts come. Let them go. Be still. Let's practice. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Bring attention to the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now wait. Watch. Notice the next thought that arises. Label it. Thinking. Let it go. Return to the breath. Repeat. Watch. Let go. Return. There is nothing to fix. Nothing to change. Only this moment. Only this breath. Only awareness. Here's a story to close this part. A student came to a Zen master, troubled. "Master," he said, "my mind is wild. I can't stop thinking. I can't meditate. It's hopeless." The master pointed to the moon, reflected in a pond. "See the reflection?" he asked. The student nodded. The master stirred the water with a stick. The reflection shattered. Then he let the water settle. Slowly, the moon returned. "This is your mind," he said. "When it is disturbed, you cannot see clearly. But if you stop stirring, the moon returns." The student asked, "So what should I do?" The master smiled. "Let it settle. Let the thoughts come. Let them go." The moon was never gone. It was only hidden. Tonight, as you lie down, let your thoughts drift. Don't chase them. Don't analyze them. Don't cling. Let them come. Let them go. Like waves on the ocean. Like clouds in the sky. Like wind in the trees. You are the witness. You are the stillness. You are the sky. And no matter how many thoughts pass through, you remain whole. You remain free. You remain untouched. Breathe. Rest. Let go. And in that letting go, you return to yourself, the freedom of non-attachment. There is a quiet strength that emerges when you no longer need things to be a certain way to feel at peace. A kind of freedom that cannot be shaken by external change or threatened by loss. It is the freedom of non-attachment, a foundational teaching in Zen and Buddhist thought, and one of the most misunderstood. Non-attachment is not indifference. It is not apathy. It is not a lack of love. Rather, non-attachment is a deep presence with life, a way of loving, engaging, and participating in the world without clinging. It is a recognition that everything is in flux. People, emotions, experiences, thoughts. To grasp at them is to suffer. To meet them with openness is to be free. Imagine holding a butterfly in the palm of your hand. You do not close your fist around it. You do not squeeze. You let it rest, wings moving gently. You watch, you appreciate, you love. And when it flies away, you let it. This is non-attachment. Open hunt, open heart, soft presence. The Buddha taught that craving tanhai is the root of suffering. Not desire itself, but the grasping that follows. This must stay, this must go, this must happen. The more tightly we hold, the more pain we experience when things inevitably change. Zen invites us to soften this grip, not to withdraw from life, but to enter it fully without fear of change, without needing to possess. Let's explore what non-attachment truly means, and how it can become a gentle revolution in how you live, love, and relate to yourself. 1. Letting go of ownership. We often live with a subconscious sense of ownership over things that cannot truly be owned. Time, people, outcomes, emotions, even identity. We say, my happiness, my partner, my success, my plan. But these are not fixed possessions. They are experiences passing through the river of life. To relate to them with open hands is to realize, I can hold this, but I do not own it. I can love this, but I cannot keep it. I can cherish this, but I must let it change. There's great beauty in this way of being. It makes each moment more precious, not less. Like petals falling from a flower, beautiful because they are fleeting. Practice. Notice throughout your day what you feel the urge to possess. A moment of joy, a compliment, a person's attention. Then gently say to yourself, this is a gift, not a guarantee. I receive it with gratitude, and I let it go with grace. 2. The difference between attachment and love. One of the most powerful shifts in understanding comes when we realize that love does not require attachment. In fact, attachment often masks as love, but it is rooted in fear. I need you to complete me. I need you to behave a certain way so I can feel secure. I need you to stay. This need creates pressure, control, fear of loss. It tightens the heart. But true love, grounded in non-attachment, says, I see you, I honor you, I allow you to be who you are, and I choose to be here without holding. This kind of love is liberating. It creates space for both people to grow. It flows, rather than clings. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh said, you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. Practice. Reflect on someone you care about. Ask, am I holding them or allowing them? Can you love without owning? Can you care without clinging? The answer is yes, but it requires awareness and trust. 3. Attachment to identity. One of the most subtle and sticky forms of attachment is our attachment to who we think we are. We build an identity. I am successful. I am spiritual. I am strong. I am broken. Then we defend it. Fear change. Fear contradiction. But in Zen, the self is not fixed. It is ever changing. Just like the body, the mind transforms. Personality evolves. Beliefs shift. Pain teaches. Insight awakens. There is no solid me to cling to. Non-attachment to identity allows for fluidity. It gives you the freedom to grow, to contradict yourself, to begin again. Practice. Notice when you say, that's just who I am. Pause. Ask, is that true now, or was it true before? Open to the possibility that you are more than any label. You are not your role, not your story, not your past. You are the awareness beneath it all. 4. Non-attachment and control. At the heart of attachment is often the desire to control. We plan, we strategize, we cling to timelines and expectations. We want life to unfold according to our script. But life has its own rhythm. It doesn't ask for our permission. Non-attachment is surrender, not resignation, but trust. It's saying, I will show up fully, I will do what I can, but I will release the need for certainty. This doesn't mean passivity, it means inner flexibility. You still plant seeds, but you let the weather be what it is. You still love, but you allow people to be who they are. You still dream, but you let life shape the form. Practice. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of resisting, Say softly, so this is what's happening now. Feel the release in your body. Let go of the script. Open to the scene life is offering. 5. Practicing non-attachment in daily life. You don't need to retreat to a monastery to embody non-attachment. You can practice in small, ordinary moments. When eating, enjoy the taste fully, without needing it to last. When working, focus on the process, not just the result. When resting, let go of needing to be productive. When speaking, share without needing to convince. When listening, hear without clinging to opinions. Non-attachment is not distanced, is freedom within closeness. It is loving fully while allowing change. Try this practice. At the end of your day, reflect. What did I cling to today? What did I resist letting go of? Where can I soften tomorrow? This daily inquiry begins to transform how you relate to everything. 6. The space non-attachment creates. When you loosen your grip, space opens. And in that space, you find peace, clarity, compassion, creativity, joy. So many of our inner knots dissolve when we stop grasping. We begin to trust life again. We begin to trust ourselves. We no longer demand constant stimulation or reassurance. We become comfortable in the quiet, rooted in being, not doing, alive in this breath, not the next. Non-attachment makes room for the miracle of now. Let us practice. Sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out even slower. Bring to mind something you've been clinging to, a worry, a desire, a person, a goal. Feel where the attachment lives in your body. Is it in your chest, your jaw, your belly? Place a gentle hand there. Say softly, I see you. I thank you. I release you. Breathe again. Now imagine opening your hand. Let the image, the thought, the tension float away like a feather in the wind. You do not need to push it. Just allow. Rest in the spaciousness that follows. Let your breath be your anchor. Let your awareness be enough. Let now be home. Here is a story. A monk once carried a heavy bag up a steep hill. A traveler noticed him struggling and asked, "Why don't you put it down for a while?" The monk smiled and replied, "I didn't realize I was carrying it." We carry so much without noticing. Expectations, roles, judgments, fears. But when we pause, when we breathe, we can begin to set it down. Not forever, not forcefully, just gently, for now. And in that moment, we rediscover lightness. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, practice non-attachment. Let go of the day. Let go of who you think you need to be. Let go of needing tomorrow to unfold in any particular way. Breathe in, breathe out. Say silently, I let go, I trust, I rest. You do not need to hold anything right now. Not your thoughts, not your plans, not even your breath. Let yourself be held by the bed, by the silence, by the moment. And in that letting go, you will remember, you are not your grasping. You are not your thoughts. You are not your control. You are the space in which everything moves and everything passes. You are the stillness, the freedom, the open hand. Sleep in that peace. Wake in that freedom. Live with that lightness. This is non-attachment. This is liberation, the power of gentle awareness. In a world that often values speed, efficiency, and productivity, the notion of gentleness can seem soft, almost weak. We are taught to push harder, try more, hustle, strive. But in Zen wisdom, gentleness is not weakness. It is strength guided by compassion. It is clarity wrapped in softness. And when it is combined with awareness, it becomes one of the most powerful forces in our inner world. Gentle awareness is the practice of seeing clearly without judgment, without urgency, without harshness. It is a presence that welcomes whatever arises, a gaze that understands rather than criticizes, a mind that notices, and a heart that accepts. Imagine holding a small bird in your hands. If you grip too tightly, you harm it. If you're careless, you let it fall. But if you hold it with gentle attention, it settles, it trusts, it breathes. This is the attitude we bring to our thoughts, our emotions, our experience, and especially to the parts of ourselves we usually try to hide or fix. Zen does not demand perfection. It asks only this: can you be fully present with what is, in this moment, without trying to change it? Gentle awareness is not passive. It is alive, discerning, and awake. But it does not punish. It does not rush. It does not cling. It's simply seasoned. In that seeing, healing begins. Let's begin with the body. Take a moment now to pause. Close your eyes, if that feels safe. Bring attention to your body, not to fix it or change it, just to listen. Notice where there is tension. Notice where there is ease. Notice the breath, and say quietly in your mind, "It's okay, I'm here with you." This simple act of noticing with kindness is the essence of gentle awareness. 1. Gentle awareness begins with acceptance. We are often at war with ourselves. We criticize our bodies. We attack our minds. We judge our feelings. I shouldn't feel this way. I'm overreacting. I need to stop thinking like this. But awareness that is not gentle becomes another weapon of the inner critic. It watches but with suspicion. It tracks but to control. Gentle awareness is different. It does not try to correct the moment. It honors it. I see you, anger. No. I notice you, fear. I feel you, sadness. No resistance, no shame, just presence. And paradoxically, it is this radical acceptance that allows transformation to occur. Try this. The next time you feel overwhelmed, place a hand on your chest. Breathe. Say, "It's okay to feel this." Stay. Don't push it away. Just be with it. Like a friend who never leaves your side. 2. Releasing the inner judge. Most of us carry an internal judger voice that critiques everything. You're not doing enough. That wasn't good enough. You should be better. Even in spiritual practice, this voice appears. I should be more mindful. I should be calmer. But the moment we turn awareness into a performance, we lose its heart. Gentle awareness says, there is no perfect way to be. There is only this way right now. And that is enough. Releasing the judge does not mean becoming passive. It means you trade judgment for curiosity. Instead of, why can't I focus? Try, what's happening in my mind right now? Instead of, I failed again. Try, what does this moment need from me? This shift is subtle but powerful. It opens space. It invites understanding. And it teaches the nervous system that safety is possible. 3. Returning without punishment. In meditation, the mind wanders. That's what it does. You may sit to observe the breath, only to find yourself lost in thought about dinner, work, memories. And then the judge returns. You're terrible at this. You can't even sit still. But in Zen, each time the mind wanders and you return, you are practicing awakening, noticing that you were lost, and gently returning to the breath. That is the practice. Not with force, not with shame, but with love. A Zen teaching says, when the mind returns, it bows. Each return is a small act of grace. Practice. When your mind drifts, smile. Say, welcome back. Return to the breath as if you are guiding a child home. No scolding, only care. 4. Tending to the inner landscape. Your inner world is like a garden. Thoughts are seeds. Emotions are weather. Memories are roots. Desires are blooming flowers. Fears are shadows. Gentle awareness tends this garden not by cutting, but by observing. Not by fixing, but by nourishing. You walk through your inner landscape with eyes open, heart soft, hands unclenched. When sadness arises, you say, "This is a cloud, let me watch it pass." When joy bursts through, you say, "This is a flower, let me breathe it in." When anger burns, you say, "This is fire, let me sit beside it without fueling it." You do not need to control the garden. You only need to tend to it with care. And over time, it grows in beauty, in wisdom, in balance. 5. Listening with the whole body. Gentle awareness is not just mental, it's somatic, rooted in the body. Your body holds stories your mind has forgotten. Tension in the shoulders may carry old responsibility. A clenched jaw may hide unspoken anger. A tight chest may cradle grief. When you bring awareness to the body and listen not to analyze, but to feel, you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level. Try this now. Place your hand over your belly. Breathe slowly. Ask, "What's here right now?" Then listen not with ears, but with attention. Maybe it says, "I'm tired." Maybe it says, "I'm afraid." Maybe it says nothing, only silence. Whatever it says, let it be enough. This is how trust is rebuilt within, through listening, without rushing, without fixing. 6. Gentleness in the face of difficulty. The real test of awareness is how you treat yourself when things fall apart. It's easy to be mindful when life is calm, but what about when you fail? When someone hurts you? When anxiety returns? This is when gentle awareness becomes medicine. It says, "I see you hurting. I see the shame. I see the fear, and I will not abandon you." In this way, gentle awareness becomes your inner refuge, a place you can return to not to escape pain, but to hold it without being consumed. This is not avoidance. It is non-violence toward yourself. You meet suffering not with resistance, but with presence. And in that presence, pain softens. 7. Living from gentle awareness. Over time, gentle awareness stops being something you do. It becomes how you live. You begin to move through the world with softer steps. You speak more slowly. You listen more deeply. You see the person behind the anger. You feel the breath beneath the story. You are no longer trying to fix life. You are walking beside it. You stop chasing peace and begin inhabiting peace. You begin to understand that you don't need to change everything to feel safe. You just need to be present with whatever arises with kindness. This is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming real, fully present, fully awake, fully human. Let us practice now. Sit quietly, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and another. Feel your body, feel your breath. Now bring to mind a part of yourself you often criticize. It could be a habit, a fear, a regret. Hold that part gently in your awareness. Say silently, "I see you. I will not push you away. I will sit with you, just as you are." Breathe. Notice what shifts. Maybe nothing, and that's okay. Gentle awareness does not force transformation. It invites it. A Zen story for this moment. A student asked his master, "How can I overcome my flaws?" The master gave him a cracked bowl and said, "Use this for tea." The student protested, "But it's broken." The master poured tea anyway. It held. The master said, "So do you. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, bring this gentleness into your body, into your breath, into your being. Let go of the striving. Let go of the judgment. Let go of needing to be different. Say silently, "I am allowed to be as I am. I offer myself the gift of presence. I meet myself with compassion." Let your breath be slow. Let your body be heavy. Let your mind be held not in control, but in care. There is nothing to do. There is no perfect way to be. Only this moment, only this breath, only this presence. And in this gentle presence, you are already whole. You are already enough. Sleep in that softness. Wake in that stillness, and walk through the day ahead, not pushing, not chasing, but simply seeing gently, clearly, kindly, all that you are, cultivating compassion for yourself and others. There is a gentle strength in compassion that transforms suffering into healing, separation into connection, and fear into understanding. In the teachings of Zen, compassion karuna is not just an abstract ideal. It is a lived experience, a practice that begins with the most intimate relationship you will ever have, the one with yourself. Often, we are our own harshest critics. The mind can replay old mistakes with merciless judgment. The body is met with impatience or rejection. We carry burdens of shame and guilt, and we hide parts of ourselves that feel unworthy or broken. But true compassion begins by turning toward ourselves with kindness, not to deny pain, but to meet it with warmth and acceptance. This is the foundation of all compassion, because we cannot genuinely care for others unless we first care for ourselves. Imagine a mother tending a child who is scraped and bruised. She does not scold, she does not rush. She leans close, cleans the wound gently, and whispers words of comfort. This is the heart of compassionate attention that soothes and heals. The practice of compassion in Zen is a gradual unfolding, a deepening of awareness that expands from self to others and ultimately to all beings. It is not sentimental or naive. It is rooted in clear-eyed understanding of suffering and interconnection. Let's begin this journey inward to cultivate compassion that flows outward. 1. Compassion begins with awareness. Compassion arises from seeing, clearly recognizing suffering without turning away. It is not about fixing or changing, but about being present with what is. Start with your own pain. When difficult feelings arise, fear, anger, loneliness, sadness, can you hold them gently? Can you say, "I see you. You are not alone"? This simple acknowledgement is revolutionary. Rather than pushing pain underground or escaping into distraction, you meet it with a soft gaze. This practice begins with mindfulness, noticing what is alive inside you with openness and without judgment. Try it now. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, scan your body for tension or discomfort. When you find it, pause. Place a hand there if you like. Say silently, "It's okay to feel this. I'm here with you." 2. Embracing imperfection. Compassion grows as you accept your imperfections, not as flaws to be fixed, but as parts of your humanity. The Zen teaching of wabi-sabi honors beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. You are perfectly imperfect. Your struggles, your mistakes, your vulnerabilities, they do not diminish your worth. They enrich your experience. When you start to embrace this, the harsh inner judge softens. The critical voice becomes quieter. You begin to treat yourself as you would a dear friend, not a harsh taskmaster. Practice. When a self-critical thought arises, try responding with kindness. "I'm doing my best. I'm learning. I'm enough as I am." Let this be your daily mantra. 3. The breath as a bridge to compassion. The breath is a constant companion in cultivating compassion. As you breathe, imagine drawing in warmth and kindness with the inhale. As you exhale, release tension and judgment. Visualize the breath flowing gently through your body, carrying compassion to places that need it most. This breath-based compassion practice, known as metta or loving kindness meditation, invites you to nurture a tender heart toward yourself and others. Begin by repeating silently, "May I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease." Then extend this wish outward. May all beings be safe, may all beings be happy, may all beings be healthy, may all beings live with ease. Feel the boundaries between self and other soften. 4. Compassion for difficult parts of yourself. Often, the parts of ourselves we reject the most, are those that cry out for compassion. Maybe it's the angry voice, the anxious heart, the lonely child inside. Rather than pushing these parts away, invite them in. A Zen teacher once said, "You cannot hate away the parts of yourself that you are afraid to love." When fear or shame arises, breathe gently into that space. Imagine wrapping it in a warm, loving embrace. Say, "I see you. You are not your fear. You are not your shame. You are a part of me, and I accept you." This is not always easy. It may take time, but it opens deep healing. 5. Extending compassion to others. Compassion for others naturally flows from self-compassion. When you are kind to yourself, you become less reactive and more patient with those around you. You recognize that everyone struggles, everyone suffers, everyone seeks happiness and safety. This recognition softens judgment and increases empathy. Practice. When someone irritates or hurts you, pause. Instead of reacting, try silently wishing, "May you be free from suffering. May you find peace." This doesn't mean tolerating harm or neglecting boundaries. It means holding others with a heart that understands their humanity. 6. Compassion in action. Compassion is not just feeling, it is doing. It moves us to care for the hungry, to listen deeply to a friend, to forgive, to serve without expectation. Zen teaches that compassionate action flows from clear seeing and gentle presence. When you are centered in compassion, your actions carry kindness without attachment to outcome. You do what you can and let go of results. 7. Challenges in cultivating compassion. Sometimes, cultivating compassion can feel difficult, especially when faced with anger, injustice, or pain. You might wonder how to be compassionate towards someone who has hurt you, or even toward yourself when feeling stuck. Remember, compassion does not mean condoning harm or erasing boundaries. It means holding space for pain without fueling hatred or resentment. This often requires courage and patience. It may help to practice deep breathing, to seek support, or to reflect on your own vulnerabilities. Compassion is a journey, not a destination. 8. The ripple effect of compassion. When you cultivate compassion within, it radiates outward. Your presence softens relationships. Your patience eases tension. Your kindness inspires others. Compassion is contagious. Like a pebble dropped in a pond, it sends waves that touch countless lives. By nurturing compassion in yourself, you contribute to a more peaceful world. Let us practice now. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, bring awareness to your heart, breathe deeply, and say silently, "May I be safe, may I be peaceful, may I be whole." Feel warmth growing in your chest. Now bring to mind someone you care about deeply. Repeat, "May you be safe, may you be peaceful, may you be whole." Finally, expand this wish to all beings. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be whole. End of class. Rest in this feeling of expansive compassion. Here is a story. A student asked a Zen master, "How can I cultivate compassion?" The master replied, "Start with yourself. Love yourself as you are, then love others as they are." Compassion grows like a seed watered by kindness. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, invite compassion into your heart. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to your fears and doubts. Be open to the world's suffering and joy. Let your breath carry this compassion. Let it soothe you. Let it guide you. And in the morning, wake with a heart ready to give and receive love. This is the path of compassion. This is the heart of awakening, finding peace in letting go of control. In the vast and ever-changing landscape of life, the desire for control is a familiar companion. We want to steer our circumstances, influence others, and shape the future according to our plans and hopes. This urge to control can feel natural after all. It promises security, predictability, and relief from uncertainty. Yet, paradoxically, it often becomes the root of our deepest anxiety and suffering. Zen teaches us that the true path to peace is not through mastering control over external events, but through letting go of the need to control. It is an invitation to surrender to the flow of life, to trust the unfolding moment, and to cultivate an inner resilience that does not depend on holding things tightly in place. Letting go of control is not easy. It touches on our fears, our identities, and our illusions of safety. Yet it opens a door to freedom, presence, and profound peace. Let's begin exploring this path now. 1. The illusion of control. Our minds love to believe that if we plan carefully, work hard enough, and arrange our environment just right, we can avoid pain and ensure happiness. We craft mental blueprints of how life should go, and when reality diverges, frustration and fear arise. But Zen reminds us that control is an illusion. The world is dynamic and unpredictable. People change, bodies age, circumstances shift beyond our grasp. To cling to control is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips away. Recognizing this illusion is the first step toward peace. 2. What are you trying to control? Take a moment to reflect. What aspects of your life do you most feel the need to control? Is it your work, your relationships, your health, your reputation, your feelings, your thoughts? Often, control attempts arise not from desire but from fear. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of uncertainty. By gently acknowledging what you try to control, you create space for awareness. 3. The costs of control. Trying to control life can exhaust your energy and cloud your mind. It can isolate you from the present moment, as you are always caught in future scenarios or regrets. When control is your anchor, you risk losing touch with spontaneity, joy, and connection. Ironically, the more you resist life's natural flow, the more suffering you experience. 4. The power of surrender. Surrender does not mean defeat or giving up. It means, I do what I can, and I let go of what I cannot. I hold plans lightly and remain open. I trust life's intelligence beyond my understanding. This surrender is an active practice. It requires courage and trust. Surrender invites peace. 5. Cultivating trust. Trust is the heart of letting go of control. Trust in yourself. Trust in your ability to meet whatever arises. Trust in the unfolding of life. Trust grows through presence. When you stay grounded in this moment, you realize you have survived uncertainty before. You are not alone. You are supported. 6. Practicing letting go through breath. The breath is a natural teacher of surrender. Each inhale invites presence. Each exhale invites release. Practice slow, deep breathing. With each exhale, imagine letting go of tension, worry, and the need to control. Repeat silently. I release what I cannot hold. I trust the flow of life. Setta, letting go in action. You don't have to wait for meditation to practice surrender. In daily life, notice moments where you feel the urge to control interrupt. Pause, breathe, and choose to let go. Let go of trying to fix every problem immediately. Let go of needing others to act a certain way. Let go of insisting on certainty. Allow space for the unknown. 8. Finding peace beyond control. As you release control, you begin to experience a different kind of peace. It is not dependent on external conditions. It is not fragile or conditional. It is rooted in your inner stillness, your awareness, and your capacity to embrace life as it is. 9. A story of letting go. A Zen master once told his student, imagine holding a bird in your hand. If you squeeze tightly, you kill it. If you hold too loosely, it flies away. But if you hold gently, With love, it will rest. The student asked, "How do I hold life gently?" The master replied, "By knowing when to hold and when to let go." 10. Closing practice. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. Bring to mind something you have been trying to control. Notice any tension, fear, or resistance. Breathe into that feeling. Say silently, "I release this need. I trust life's wisdom. I rest in peace." Repeat until you feel softness. As you prepare to sleep tonight, carry this intention with you: to hold life gently, to trust what is, to let go of what cannot be held. In this surrender, find freedom. In this freedom, find peace. You are safe. You are enough. You are home. Let go. Breathe. Rest. This is the way of peace. This is the way of Zen, the path of patience. In the hurried rhythm of modern life, patience can feel like a rare and precious treasure. We live in a world that demands speed-fast answers, quick results, instant gratification. Yet Zen reminds us that true awakening unfolds not in haste, but in patience, a deep, quiet endurance that embraces time as a friend rather than an enemy. Patience is not passive waiting or resignation. It is a powerful, active presencer, willingness to stay with the process, to honor the unfolding of life and self without rushing or forcing. It is the soil in which wisdom, compassion, and peace take root. On this path, impatience is the fire that burns too hot, while patience is the steady flame that warms and lights the way. Let us explore how cultivating patience can transform your relationship to life's challenges, to your own growth, and to the ever-changing flow of existence. Ain, understanding patience in Zen. Patience, chanti, is one of the 6 perfections, paramitas, in Buddhist practice. It is often translated as tolerance, endurance, or forbearance, but in Zen, it carries the deeper sense of calm, acceptance of difficulty, and delay without losing presence. Patience means sitting with discomfort without fleeing, accepting things as they are, not as we wish them to be, trusting the timing of life, even when it feels slow or confusing. The Zen saying goes, "The whole moon and the entire sky are reflected in one dewdrop on the grass." Patience allows us to hold vastness in a small moment-holding space for the fullness of experience, no matter how small or slow. 2. The challenge of impatience. Impatience arises from desire and fear. We want things to move quickly because we fear loss, discomfort, or uncertainty. We want to escape waiting because waiting feels like powerlessness. But impatience narrows the mind and heart. It fuels anxiety, frustration, and conflict. It blinds us to the present moment by fixating on what is not yet. Impatience is often the root of suffering. 3. Patience as a form of courage. Patience is not weakness. It takes courage to stay present with difficulty. When you feel anger rising, instead of reacting immediately, patience allows you to pause. When progress stalls, patience keeps you moving gently without giving up. When pain arises, patience offers refuge instead of resistance. Zen teaches that patience is a courageous refusal to run away. 4. Practicing patience with the breath. The breath is a natural anchor to cultivate patience. Begin by noticing your inhale and exhale. Inhale slowly, feeling the expansion. Exhale fully, letting go. If your mind rushes ahead, gently return to the breath. Say silently, "I am here. I wait with this breath." With practice, you learn to trust the rhythm of breathing, and by extension, the rhythm of life. 5. Patience in the face of growth. Personal growth and awakening do not happen overnight. Zen stories remind us of the slow unfolding of insight. The lotus flower takes time to bloom beneath the mud. The bamboo tree spends years growing roots before sprouting a single shoot. Your own transformation requires the same patient care. You may feel stuck or discouraged at times. That is natural. Patience invites you to honor your journey without judgment or haste. 6. Patience in relationships. Relationships often test our patience. Others may act in ways that frustrate or hurt us. Patience allows space for understanding and forgiveness. It lets us listen deeply, even when it is difficult. It reminds us that people grow at their own pace. 7. Cultivating patience through mindful presence. Patience grows from presence being fully here now. When you bring full attention to the present, impatience softens. Try to notice when impatience arises. Pause, breathe, return to this moment. Practice saying, "I accept this moment as it is." 8. The gift of patience. Through patience, life opens. You begin to see delays not as obstacles, but as opportunities for deeper understanding. You find peace not at the end of the journey, but in each step. Patience deepens your compassion for yourself and others. 9. A Zen story on patience. A student asked a master, "How can I attain enlightenment quickly?" The master replied, "How long did it take for the tree to grow?" The student said, "Many years." End of. The master said, "Like the tree, you must be patient and let your wisdom grow naturally." 10. Practice. Embracing patience now. Sit quietly, close your eyes, breathe deeply. Bring to mind a situation where you feel impatient. Notice the sensation in your body. Breathe into that feeling. Say silently, "I welcome patience. I trust the timing of life." Allow yourself to rest in this openness. 11. Closing reflection. As you prepare to rest tonight, remember that patience is your companion on this path. You do not need to rush. You do not need to force. You only need to be here, now. With each breath, cultivate patience. With each moment, cultivate presence. This is the gentle power of Zen. Patience is not waiting for life to be perfect. It is the deep knowing that life is unfolding perfectly in its own time. Rest in this truth, and awaken gently, step by patient step, embracing stillness amidst chaos. Life is often unpredictable, noisy, and chaotic. Our minds spin with countless worries, tasks, and distractions, pulling us in many directions at once. The external world, too, with its rapid pace, crises, and uncertainties, can feel overwhelming. Yet Zen teaches us a timeless truth. Within the heart of chaos lies an untouched stillness, a place of deep calm and clarity that is always accessible. This stillness is not dependent on external conditions. It does not require the world to be quiet or orderly. It is not a place to escape to, but a sanctuary to come home to right here, right now, no matter what is happening around you. Embracing stillness amidst chaos is a practice of profound courage and insight. It invites you to find balance, clarity, and peace, even when the storm rages. Let's begin exploring this path together. 1. The nature of chaos and stillness. Chaos is inherent in life, unpredictable events, emotions that surge and recede, thoughts that race. Chaos can feel threatening because it challenges our need for control and stability. But stillness is the space beneath the noise, the silent backdrop against which all movement unfolds. Zen teaches that this stillness is not something to create or achieve. It is already present, beneath every storm of thought or feeling. Like the ocean, the surface may be turbulent, but deep beneath, the waters are calm. 2. Recognizing the stillness within. Pause now, take a deep breath, close your eyes. Even if your mind is busy, try to notice the space between thoughts, the quiet gap where no noise exists. Feel the ground beneath your body. Feel the breath flowing in and out. This is the stillness within you. It is your true nature. It is always present, even if hidden. 3. The paradox of presence in chaos. To embrace stillness amidst chaos is to hold two truths simultaneously. Chaos exists and is real. Stillness exists and is real. You don't deny the storm. You don't resist the noise. You simply allow both to be present. This non-dual awareness frees you from being overwhelmed by chaos. You become the observer, not the victim. 4. Anchoring in the present moment. Stillness grows through presence, being fully in this moment. When your mind drifts to worries about the future or regrets from the past, gently bring it back. Use your breath as an anchor. Feel the rise and fall of your belly. Feel your feet on the ground. Return again and again. 5. Cultivating inner refuge. In chaos, having an inner refuge, a place of calm you can return to, is vital. This refuge can be a physical place, a breath, a mantra, or the felt sense of your body. Build this refuge through daily practice. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, rest in the stillness. Train yourself to return to this refuge anytime chaos arises. 6. Responding rather than reacting. Stillness gives you the space to respond skillfully rather than react impulsively. When overwhelmed, instead of being swept away by emotion or thought, pause. Notice what is happening. Breathe. Choose your next step with clarity. This mindful response breaks the cycle of stress and reactivity. 7. Finding peace in uncertainty. Chaos often brings uncertainty. We want answers, guarantees, control. Zen invites you to lean into uncertainty with openness. Say to yourself, it is okay not to know. Find comfort in the mystery. This acceptance creates room for peace. 8. The role of compassion in chaos. Chaos can trigger fear, frustration, and blame. Gentle awareness and compassion soften these reactions. Be kind to yourself when you feel overwhelmed. Extend kindness to others caught in their own storms. Compassion connects you to shared humanity. 9. A Zen story on stillness and chaos. A student asked a master, "How can I find peace when everything around me is so chaotic?" The master replied, "When the wind blows, the trees sway but their roots remain firm." The student asked, "How do I become like the trees?" The master said, "Root yourself in stillness, and the storm cannot uproot you." 10. Practice. Embracing stillness now. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Notice your thoughts and feelings as they arise without judgment. Imagine each one as a wave on the ocean's surface. Breathe into the ocean beneath the stillness. Rest in this space. 11. Closing reflection. As you prepare for rest tonight, carry this practice of stillness with you. No matter what noise surrounds you, know there is a calm place inside. Return to your breath. Return to your body. Return to this moment. Here, you are safe. Here, you are whole. Here, you are still. Chaos and stillness dance together in life. You don't have to choose one over the other. You can hold both with grace, courage, and presence. This is the path of Zen. This is the path of peace. Welcome home. Awakening through acceptance. One of the most profound teachings in Zen is that awakening begins not by changing what is, but by accepting what is fully, deeply, without resistance or denial. Acceptance is often misunderstood as passivity or resignation, but in truth, it is an active, courageous embracing of life exactly as it unfolds. It is a radical openness to reality in all its beauty and pain. When we accept life's conditions, thoughts, emotions, bodies, relationships, and circumstances, we free ourselves from the endless struggle against what cannot be changed. In that freedom, awakening arises naturally, like the sun breaking through clouds. This path of acceptance is not easy. It calls us to face what we fear, what we reject, what we try to avoid. Yet it is the gateway to true peace, clarity, and compassion. Let us explore the nature of awakening through acceptance and how it can transform your experience. 1. What is acceptance? Acceptance means seeing clearly and allowing fully. It is the acknowledgement that this moment is as it is, without adding shoulds or should nots. It is letting go of the urge to control, fix, or avoid. Acceptance says, I don't have to like it, I don't have to approve, but I will not turn away. This openness creates space for presence. 2. The resistance that causes suffering. Suffering often arises not from pain itself, but from resistance to pain. When discomfort, loss, or difficulty arise, our instinct is to push away, deny, or fight. I shouldn't feel this way. This shouldn't be happening. Why me? This resistance adds a layer of suffering, like struggling underwater. Acceptance removes the struggle. It says, yes, this is here. And by saying yes, you lighten the load. 3. Acceptance is not passivity. Acceptance is not giving up or being passive. It is a powerful act of engagement with reality. When you accept, you can see clearly. When you see clearly, you can act wisely. Acceptance is the foundation for skillful action. 4. How acceptance opens awakening. When you stop fighting what is, you free your energy to be present. You notice things you might have missed. You develop compassion for yourself and others. You realize impermanence and interconnectedness. Awakening arises naturally from this clarity. 5. Practicing radical acceptance. Begin with small moments. When a difficult feeling arises, pause, breathe deeply, say silently, I accept this feeling. It is here. Notice how the body softens. Return to the breath. 6. Acceptance of thoughts and emotions. Thoughts and emotions are natural waves on the ocean of awareness. Rather than judging or trying to stop them, accept their presence. Label thoughts gently, thinking, worrying, planning. Allow emotions to flow, like clouds passing in the sky. Acceptance transforms inner turmoil into calm observation. 7. Acceptance of circumstances. Life may bring challenges beyond your control. Acceptance means meeting these without resistance. It does not mean liking or wanting the situation, but allowing it. This allows you to focus on what you can change and release what you cannot. 8. Compassion through acceptance. When you accept yourself fully, you cultivate deep compassion. You see your flaws and fears without judgment. You meet your suffering with kindness. This compassion extends naturally to others. 9. A Zen story on acceptance. A student asked, "How can I stop suffering?" The master replied, "When you try to hold water in your hands, it slips away. Let go, and it stays." The student asked, "How do I let go?" The master said, "By accepting what is, without grasping." 10. Meditation practice. Awakening through acceptance. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, focus on your breath. Notice any sensation, thought, or emotion. Bring a gentle attitude of acceptance. Say silently, "I accept this moment fully." Rest in the openness. 11. Living acceptance daily. Acceptance is a practice, not a destination. Throughout your day, notice resistance. Pause, breathe, return to acceptance. This simple habit deepens awakening. 12. Closing reflection. As you prepare for rest tonight, invite acceptance into your heart. Let go of judgment. Let go of resistance. Rest in what is. And in that resting, awaken. Acceptance is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning, the doorway to peace, clarity, and freedom. Walk through it gently and awaken fully. The gentle power of letting be. There is a profound power in the simple practice of letting bellowing life, thoughts, emotions, and experiences to exist exactly as they are, without interference, judgment, or resistance. In Zen, this is not a passive surrender, but a dynamic engagement with reality, an opening of the heart and mind to the flow of existence. Letting be is the foundation of freedom. It means embracing the present moment in all its fullness and releasing the struggle to control or change what is. It is a practice of deep trust, gentle acceptance, and compassionate witnessing. In a world that constantly urges us to do more, fix more, and control more, learning to let be is a radical act of self-kindness and wisdom. 1. What does it mean to let be? To let be means to stop pushing against what is. It is an invitation to stop resisting thoughts, feelings, sensations, or situations. It means saying yes to the present moment, not because you approve or want it to be this way, but because you accept it fully. This openness creates spaciousness and peace. 2. The habit of interference. Most of us have a habitual relationship with experience that looks like interference. When difficult emotions arise, we try to avoid or suppress them. When uncomfortable thoughts come, we push them away. When life challenges us, we fight or run. This interference adds tension and suffering. Letting be releases the need to fix. 3. Letting be as active presence. Letting be is not about passivity or giving up. It is an active presencer, mindful engagement that witnesses without controlling. It means observing without attachment. It means feeling without clinging. It means allowing without judging. 4. The power of witnessing. When you let be, you become a witness to your experience. You see thoughts, emotions, and sensations as passing phenomena. This witnessing creates distance from identification. You realize, I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions. This awareness opens freedom. 5. Letting be and the breath. The breath naturally teaches letting be. Each inhale comes and goes without effort. Each exhale releases without resistance. When you focus on your breath, notice how it lets be, how it flows naturally. You can cultivate this same ease in your mind and heart. 6. Letting be with difficult emotions. When anger, sadness, or fear arise, try letting them be. Don't push them away or get lost in them. Notice where you feel them in your body. Breathe into that space. Say silently, I let you be. Allow the emotion to move naturally. 7. Letting be in relationships. Letting be deepens relationships by allowing others to be themselves. It releases the need to control or change. It fosters acceptance and compassion. When you let others be, you create space for authentic connection. 8. Challenges in letting be. Letting be can feel difficult, especially when we fear pain or loss. Impatience, judgment, and fear often arise. When this happens, gently return to your breath. Remind yourself that letting be is a practice. Each moment offers a new chance to try again. 9. A Zen story on letting be. A student asked a master, "How do I find peace?" The master said, "When you stop trying to change the river and let it be as it flows, you find peace." The student asked, "But the river is cold and wild." The master smiled, "Then flow with it." Dies. Practice. Cultivating letting be. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Notice any sensations, thoughts, or emotions. Invite them to be without trying to change. If your mind wanders, gently return to breath. Rest in this openness. 11. The ripple effect of letting be. When you let be within yourself, it ripples outward. Your relationships soften, your mind clears, your heart opens. Letting be creates a profound harmony within and without. 12. Letting be as a daily practice. You don't have to be in meditation to practice letting be. Notice moments in your day where you resist. Pause, breathe, choose to let be. Over time, this becomes natural. 13. The freedom of letting be. Letting be frees you from the exhausting struggle to control life. It opens you to the mystery and beauty of the present moment. It connects you to your true nature, calm, open, and alive. 14. Closing reflection. As you prepare to rest tonight, invite letting be into your heart. Let go of striving. Let go of judgment. Allow yourself to simply be. Rest in this gentle power. Letting be is not giving up. It is coming home to yourself, to the moment, to life just as it is. In letting be, you find freedom, you find peace, you find love. Welcome home. The healing power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most profound and transformative practices on the path of healing and awakening. It is often misunderstood as a gift we give to others, a concession that excuses wrongdoing, or a sign of weakness. Yet in the deep wisdom of Zen, forgiveness is first and foremost a healing act. We offer ourselves a way to release the burdens of resentment, anger, and pain that keep us trapped in suffering. To forgive is to open the heart and mind, to soften the grip of past wounds, and to reclaim freedom from the cycle of hurt and retaliation. It is an act of courage and compassion that allows the healing energy of presence and acceptance to flow through our being. In this chapter, we explore the healing power of forgiveness, show it arises, why it is essential, and how to cultivate it gently in your own life. Understanding forgiveness. Forgiveness is not forgetting or condoning harm. It is not about pretending that pain did not happen. Instead, forgiveness is a deliberate decision to release the heavy weight of anger and resentment that binds us to the past. It is choosing freedom over imprisonment, peace over bitterness. In Zen, forgiveness is intertwined with acceptance, accepting what has happened without clinging to the pain or letting it define us. 2. The cost of holding on. Carrying grudges and resentment drains energy and peace. It keeps wounds fresh and alive in the body and mind. We replay stories of harm, feeding cycles of suffering. This holding on often hurts us more than the original offense. 3. Forgiveness as self-healing. When we forgive, we are not only freeing Othasway, are freeing ourselves. Forgiveness is a gift to your own heart. It clears space for compassion, joy, and presence. It dissolves inner barriers that block love and connection. 4. The courage to forgive. Forgiving is not always easy. It requires courage to face pain honestly. It requires strength to soften defenses. Forgiveness is an ongoing process, sometimes needing patience and repeated efforts. Yet every step toward forgiveness is a step toward healing. 5. Forgiving yourself. Often, the hardest forgiveness to offer is for ourselves. We carry guilt, shame, regret, and self-judgment. Zen teaches that self-forgiveness is essential for awakening. It means recognizing your humanity, embracing imperfection, and offering yourself compassion. 6. Forgiveness and compassion. Forgiveness naturally arises from compassion. When we see others as human beings who suffer and make mistakes, it softens our hearts. Compassion allows us to understand rather than condemn. It creates the conditions for genuine forgiveness. Soothe. Practice cultivating forgiveness. Begin with your breath. Sit quietly and breathe deeply. Bring to mind someone you find difficult to forgive, including yourself. Acknowledge the pain honestly. Then silently say, "May I be free from suffering. May you be free from suffering." May we both find peace. Repeat this gently, returning to the breath. 8. Letting go of the story. Often, we hold on to a story of victimhood. Zen invites us to release the narrative, to see it as one aspect of reality, not the whole truth. By stepping back, we can observe the story without being defined by it. This creates space for forgiveness and healing. 9. Forgiveness as freedom. True forgiveness liberates. It frees us from the chains of the past. It allows us to live fully in the present. It opens the heart to love and joy. 10. A Zen story on forgiveness. A student asked a master, "How do I forgive someone who has hurt me deeply?" The master replied, "Look into your own heart. When you find the place that hurts, send it love. When you can love your own pain, forgiveness flows like a river." 11. Forgiveness and presence. Forgiveness arises in the present moment. When we stay grounded in now, resentment loses its power. Presence dissolves the grip of past wounds. Practice returning to the now whenever painful memories arise. 12. Forgiveness in daily life. You don't need a special occasion to forgive. Notice moments of irritation, anger, or blame. Pause. Breathe. Choose forgiveness in that moment. This small practice accumulates healing. 13. Healing relationships through forgiveness. Forgiveness can transform relationships. It breaks cycles of hurt and retaliation. It opens the door to reconciliation and understanding. Even if reconciliation is not possible, forgiveness frees your heart. 14. Forgiveness and letting go. Forgiveness requires letting go of control, letting go of needing justice or closure on our terms. It asks for trust in life's unfolding. This letting go creates space for peace. 15. Closing practice. Sit quietly, close your eyes, breathe deeply, bring to mind someone to forgive. Silently repeat, "May I be free, may you be free, may we both find peace." Rest in the healing silence. 16. Closing reflection. As you prepare to rest, carry forgiveness in your heart. Let go of grudges. Open to compassion. Embrace healing. Forgiveness is the gentle power that frees. It is the path to peace, to awakening, and to love. Walk it gently, with courage and kindness. In the end, forgiveness is the most profound act of liberation you can offer yourself. It untangles the knots of pain, allowing your heart to expand and your spirit to soar. Through forgiveness, the wounds become teachers, the past becomes a path, and the present becomes a place of freedom. Welcome this healing power into your life. Welcome peace. Welcome love. Returning home to the present moment. The journey through Zen wisdom culminates in the profound simplicity of returning home to the present moment. Amidst all teachings, practices, and insights, the present moment is the eternal doorway, the timeless sanctuary where true peace resides. It is the only reality we ever have. The past is memory, the future is imagination, but now this breath, this heartbeat, this living momentous where life truly unfolds. Returning home to the present moment means fully inhabiting this now without distraction, without judgment, without resistance. It is the final resting place of the mind and heart after wandering through complexities and struggles. It is the source of awakening, the ground of freedom, and the wellspring of joy. In this final chapter, we explore how to embrace the present moment fully, how to live from this space with clarity and grace, and how to carry this practice forward in everyday life. 1. Why the present moment matters. The present moment is the only moment you can truly live. It is the canvas on which every thought, feeling, and action is painted. When we live in the past, we are trapped in stories, regrets, or nostalgia. When we live in the future, we chase hopes, fears, or plans. Both pull us away from the reality of life unfolding now. Zen calls us to rest here, now, because here, peace is accessible. Here, freedom arises. Here, we are truly alive. 2. The illusion of time and mind wandering. The mind loves to travel, replaying past events, worrying about what's next. This mental wandering can be helpful when it serves us, but often it leads to distraction and suffering. By returning to the present, we break the cycle of endless thought and reconnect with reality. Presence anchors us in what is true and immediate. 3. The practice of returning. Returning is a gentle but consistent practice. Each time your mind drifts, notice it without judgment. Then, with kindness, bring your attention back, often using the breath as a guide. This is not failure, it is the heart of mindfulness. Each return strengthens your capacity to be present. 4. Presence in daily life. Presence is not only for meditation cushions. It is available in every activity: washing dishes, walking, listening, working. When fully present, even ordinary moments become rich and alive. Try bringing your full attention to one simple task today. Notice the texture, sounds, sensations. Be here, be now. 5. The gifts of living presently. Living in the present moment cultivates peace amid turmoil, clarity in decision-making, deep connection with others, appreciation for life's simple beauty, freedom from anxiety and regret. These gifts are available now, simply by choosing presence. 6. Challenges to presence. The mind's habit of distraction can be strong. Life's pressures can pull us away. When resistance arises, practice gentleness. Return with patience. Remember, presence is a journey, not a perfect state. 7. Embracing the mystery of now. The present moment is mysterious and profound. It cannot be grasped or pinned down. It unfolds endlessly. To embrace the mystery is to open to life fully. 8. Story. The Zen master and the present. A student asked, "Master, how do I find enlightenment?" The master said, "When you eat, eat. When you walk, walk." The student said, "I do that." The master said, "No, you don't. You are somewhere else." 9. Meditation. Resting in the present moment. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Notice the sensations of breathing. If the mind wanders, gently return. Rest in this simple presence. 10. Integration. Bringing presence into every day. Make presence your foundation. When stress arises, pause and breathe. When joy appears, savor it fully. When pain visits, meet it with openness. Présence transforms expérience. 11. Final reflection. As this journey concludes, remember, the present moment is always here. You are always home. No matter where life takes you, you can return to now. This is your refuge. This is your freedom. This is your peace. 12. Carrying the practice forward. Each day offers new chances to return. Each breath invites you home. Practice with kindness and patience. Know that presence is your natural state. 13. Closing words. Let the present moment be your guide. Let it teach you the art of living fully. Let it open your heart to the beauty of now. And in this living, find your true self, awake, free, and whole. Returning home to the present moment is the ultimate act of love and liberation. It is where all paths converge and where true awakening blooms. Walk this path gently, with gratitude, and know that every step is sacred. Welcome home. In these moments of stillness, you've wandered from the restless storms of thought into the clear sky of your own awareness. You began by noticing the clouds, those worrying ideas and self-judgments that swirled without end, and discovered You are not your thoughts, but the space in which they appear. You learn to observe without judgment, to anchor yourself gently in the rhythm of the breath, and to welcome each feeling, fear, grief, longing as a guest to be greeted rather than an enemy to be banished. With gentle acceptance, you set down the heavy boulders of resistance and control, allowing life's circumstances to be exactly as they are. You practice the art of letting goof stories and expectations that no longer served you, and found in that release an unexpected freedom. In moments of chaos, you return to your center, remembering that beneath every wave of emotion lies an unshakable calm. Through compassion, you soften toward your own wounds and the wounds of others, finding that forgiveness heals both giver and receiver. Patience taught you to trust the slow unfolding of insight, just as a seed spends seasons growing roots before breaking ground. You discovered that true strength is born in waiting, in holding space for all aspects of yourself, even those you once feared. By returning again and again to the present moment, washing dishes, sipping tea, walking in silence, you transformed the ordinary into the sacred. Each breath became a doorway home, each pause a sanctuary of peace. Now, as you step away from this practice and return to your day, carry with you the map you have drawn on the terrain of your own heart. Remember to watch your thoughts like clouds coming, staying briefly, and drifting away without being carried off by their stories. Anchor yourself in the breath whenever you feel adrift, using each inhale to ground you and each exhale to open you. Meet every emotion with a gentle, "I see you," offering compassion to your own heart and to all who share this journey. Release the need for control, embracing life's uncertainty as an invitation to trust the unfolding path. Return continually to the present moment, where true peace and wisdom reside. This practice is not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong friendship with your own awareness. There will be days when the mind races, when the heart aches, when old habits re-emerge. Yet each time you remember, even for a single breath, to return, to accept, to let be, you reawaken the quiet presence that has always been yours. May this Zen journey guide you back to yourself, again and again, until rest comes easily, and your life becomes a living expression of the clear, sky-vast, open, and free.